I would like all to call our show. We have a unique opportunity.
All two of them.
You only had 2 girlfriends?
I haven't had many girlfriends.
Oh, my God.
That was so sad.
Yeah.
I haven't had many girlfriends.
Even that girl that I was...
baby.
Oh, my God.
Guys all the time.
Even that girlfriend that I was talking about before, she wouldn't call me her girlfriend, but we were definitely dating at the time.
I remember you saying this.
Yeah.
You had all the trappings of a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship.
Yeah, we went out on dates. We
and
had
she
relations. But she didn't want to put a label on things.
Oh, my God. This guy thinks he is my boyfriend.
We were.
Okay, baby. But you're not my boyfriend.
Okay. All
You're
2
just a
girls
friend.
who dated Casey, I'd like to hear from you this morning. Let's
Let's
get you both on.
And
and
doesn't
share
one
some-
not live
notes.
in the area? Like not live in the listening area?
Nah, and that's who I'm talking about. We didn't date.
But her friend does.
Who are you talking
Because
about?
her friend came up to me.
Oh, yeah. No. We were definitely girlfriend, boyfriend.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
All right, I need to get one more story in here. With 2 more Fast and Furious films on the horizon, Vin Diesel is hoping to bury the hatchet with Dwayne Johnson, with whom he fell out of.
What's it about?
While collaborating on The Fate of the Furious.
I consider him family.
What?
I consider him family.
Family.
Diesel shared a message for Johnson via Instagram on Sunday, extending an olive branch with the hopes of securing the return of Johnson, his Luke Hobbs, for
It's just the branch. I ate all the olives.
for Fast 10. You got to be careful. They have pits.
Yeah,
in them,
absolutely.
Man. You
That
don't want
was-
to swallow those.
I was hungry.
Yeah. That's why you talk so weird. You got olive
It
pits.
gets caught in my throat.
What's in there?
Olive pits.
Well, that explains so much.
It does. So Diesel wrote to the actor, "My little brother Dwayne,
A little blood.
the time has come. The world awaits the finale of Fast 10, and you know my children refer to you as Uncle Dwayne in my house. There is not a holiday that goes by that they and you don't send well wishes, but
Why don't you come celebrate Diwali with me?
He celebrates Diwali as well?
Diwali the beaver.
he said, but the time has come. He said, I told you years ago that I was going to fulfill my promise to Pablo, that's Paul Walker.
Oh.
He said, I swore that we would reach and manifest the best Fast in the finale that is 10. And
Has the world really been clamoring for that?
He said, I say this out of love, but you must show up. Do not leave the franchise idle. You have a very important role to play. Hobbs can't be played by no other.
Okay.
I'm not good with words.
So he can be played by
No.
You cannot know.
Can't
Some
be-
of the roles you've been come to know now.
I hope that you rise to the occasion and fulfill your destiny. Diesel revealed this summer that the bad blood between the pair was due to him using tough love while producing Johnson in 2016. He told Men's Health that he used the approach to, quote, assist in getting that performance where it needed to be.
Yeah.
In 2019, Johnson's character Luke Hobbs had his own spinoff film Hobbs and Shaw that saw him collaborate with Jason Statham, of course.
Not that they need it, but it would be an angle to sell the next movie.
It'd be big.
Having
It'd be
him come back
big.
in, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, the movies are fun.
They're idiot.
But I mean,
they're so awful.
Yeah, I mean, they are incredibly stupid, but fun, like a fireworks display.
All right, we're ready for clips now. An Interpol agent involved in the world of international crime must hunt down and capture the world's most wanted art thief in Red Notice. And in this clip, Dwayne Johnson talks about, and that's all it says.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Talks about ...
I think what they're going to love most about the movie is the fun that we have in the movie. I also think, without giving it away, all the twists along the way. And that is what made this movie so exciting for us to make and exciting for us to deliver.
I don't think I want to see it.
Red Notice is in theaters this Friday.
This is the one with Gal Gadot and Ryan Reynolds, and it looks interesting. It has one of those things, though, Preston, and God bless Gal Gadot. But when you have her squaring off against those two guys and she's beating the piss out of them,
Yeah.
it's strange credulity. Yeah.
All right, here's the next clip. Dexter Morgan, believed to be dead and living in a new town with a false name, is on a collision course with a dangerous local in Dexter, New Blood. In this clip, Michael C. Hall talks about why now was the right time to bring Dexter back.
I think it has everything to do with how much time has passed and that the story hinges on the relationship between Dexter and his son. And his son is now a full-grown young man, or almost young man. I guess why now? The answer is ultimately we had to wait for Harrison to grow up.
Dexter New Blood is available to stream on Showtime now if you want to see that.
Are you guys going to watch it?
I watched it last night.
What'd you think?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, hang on a second. I forgot a lot about what happened at the end there. I guess at the end of the first run, some people died that I was like, oh, wait, they died? Oh,
Yeah.
Well, now I got to go back and maybe relive a little bit of that so I can remember exactly what shook out.
All right. That's my entertainment report for today. We are chock full of stuff. We got guests on the program. We got announcements to make. So let's take a break, come back in a moment, and we'll keep this thing moving. We'll be back in just a sec. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
You wake up with Preston and Steve, spend your workday with Pierre and Jackson, your evenings with Jackie and Brent, and weekends annoying the neighbors by cranking us up to 11. But why stop there?
Anybody know what she's talking about?
Get your hands on some awesome merch at MMR's Rock Shop now. Clothes, hats, mugs, clocks, puzzles, even a
Beggar
Pierre
is in talks to reprise his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in a series that centers around his Star Wars character for Disney Plus, according to the Hollywood Reporter.
It is Obi-Wan Kenobi, attorney at law. It's a departure.
That would be.
Yeah.
I think you should let him off with time served.
Giving you time served.
He's using the Jedi mind trick to sway the judge.
I think you should find him innocent.
I'm finding you innocent.
I object!
There's no way that's legal.
It's totally legal.
Oh, my God.
I think you need to go to sleep.
I got to go to sleep.
That would be...
I would
Obi-Wan
brilliant.
Kenobi,
I would totally
attorney at law.
This isn't the evidence you're looking for.
Yeah.
Even if you're stone cold guilty, give me a call.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the commercials. Yeah.
Demand Kenobi.
Yeah. And he's licensed in Missouri.
I am.
Yeah.
And even if I'm not, I'll convince them I am.
Yes, that's right.
I'm licensed in Missouri.
He's licensed in Missouri.
Better call Obi.
Would he wear a Would he be a cowboy hat?
Space cowboy.
Lawyer?
Yeah.
Type? Oh, my God. Obi-Wan Kenobi, attorney at law.
Anytime, day or night, even on New Year's Day.
Coming soon to Disney Plus.
Or Life Day on the Wookiee home planet.
No, this could be good. I loved him as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I didn't care for the series of movies, but I thought he pulled it off
I agree.
wonderfully.
He was the thing that kept me watching, and he provided, I believe, the emotional core to those. The second and third movies I really do like. I think they're good. In just tone and in some way, the distinction between the Abrams movies, the artificiality of the first trilogy was almost too much. It was so CGI'd that it was hard to connect to.
Yeah,
But
everything on the screen was fake.
Yeah.
Except for the people, and even in that case, a lot of like Jar Jar obviously was fake. But there's a big stretch of time where we don't know what happens with Obi-Wan, and maybe they'll fill in that time.
Yeah.
With his law career.
Law school.
With this,
Passing the bar.
Mr. Kenobi, do you have anything to say?
John Houseman.
So anyhow, we'll see when that eventually
He gets his own
surfaces.
judge show.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
This bitch still got my TV.
Give the TV back.
He's settling these small claims cases.
It's like Sam
This
Diesel.
bitch still got my TV.
Oh my God. Oh.
I suggest you return the TV. Give me the TV.
All right, TMZ reports that Davey Chase. Now, I looked her up, and it says she started the ring. She was Samara. She's the psycho.
Yes.
The scary girl.
The girl in the well.
And by the way, turns out she's gorgeous.
Yes, she is.
She was arrested, and she was arrested on a drug possession charge and spent some time behind bars. Yeah.
But she escaped through the television, didn't she?
She did. She managed to get out
I
of
knew
there
we were
through the
going that
TV.
way.
But she's had some run-ins. Last year, she was locked up after cops pulled her over for joyriding in an allegedly stolen car.
She was locked up for 7 days.
Is the phone rings after 7 days or something like
In
that?
7 days. Yeah, that's when you die. You have 7 days to get your affairs in order before you're... 7 days.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie. 6.5.
7 business days.
Business days? So that means I get the weekend, too?
Well, it's Monday's Labor Day, so about 8 days. All right, just stay there. I'm going to come over and kill you now.
Yeah, if you could be more specific, it might help in planning. So,
what if I go across the international date line? Let me get back to you.
Coming up soon, we'll be addressing Halloween. But
Yes.
it's a favorite costume for Halloween parties and haunted houses.
Which is the one where you go to where they have a girl who really does the full, clicking and the whole body gesticulation.
Is that Penhurst?
No, it's there's probably one there, but there's one, maybe it's it's the one way out where we always get lost going to.
It's in Bucks County.
Yeah.
I know exactly the one you're talking
but the girl who does
Fear?
Nah,
might be
Valley of Fear.
It's out kind of in a woodsy area.
It's Grotto of Consternation is the name of it.
Hang on. Chrissy is on the line to tell us about that haunted attraction. And it is Valley of Fear, isn't it? So it's Valley of Fear?
It is Valley of Fear, and the girl who does play the one from The Ring, who was there for a long time, Liz, is just a phenomenal singer, too. I just wanted to let you guys know.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah, she's incredibly talented.
And she was good. As you were moving along, she'd move along, and she never sang really, but she
didn't
I'm
sing.
the chick from The Ring, and I'm coming after you.
So her name is Liz?
Yes, Liz.
All right, cool. Thank you, Chrissy. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Cause in 7 days
See ya.
you're through.
All right.
It's not that scary.
I know, it's not scary when you sing it.
Yeah, right? Wouldn't it be a little less if it were a musical?
I live in a well and my life's kind of hell and I'm coming after you.
My life's kind of hell.
I'm the chick in the well and my life's kind of hell, but I'm a coming after you. In 7 days.
7 days. In 7 days.
7 days.
7 days. Coming after you in 7 days.
Hey. The Ring, the musical.
Turn my mic on. You turn his mic off.
I didn't turn it off. I think you might have hit the button yourself there, dude.
Uh-oh.
No, there we go. I just hit that button.
All right.
Wait a second. What's going on?
Wait a
What
second.
just happened here?
Your mic will turn off in 7 seconds. Your mic will turn off in 7 seconds.
What? I don't have a mic.
So, what's going on with Lindsay Lohan and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia?
I'm sorry, I don't kiss and tell.
Mohammed bin Salman is his name.
Hey, Sababin bin Dalbin.
Rumors are... Mohammed bin Salman.
Salbin bin Dagbin. I love you.
Mohammed bin Salman.
What?
Rumors are circulating that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, who many critics say is a dictator and the real power behind the throne of his father, King Salman, and the perpetually beleaguered Lilo have formed a special relationship of some sort.
Wait, is it come again roast beef?
Some believe that he is a dictator and the real power behind the throne of his father, King Salman. So sources spill that he flies her around on his jets and showers her with presents, even gifting her with a credit card.
Oh, it's a Discover card. It pays you for every purchase.
A rep denies the claim.
What's in your wallet?
What's in your wallet? But sources insist that Lindsay, who has been based partly in Dubai for a few years, is regularly courted by Middle Eastern dignitaries.
I love dictators.
In Saudi culture of late, And
Kim Jong-un, this is Lindsay.
last year declared her intention to make an all-female film dubbed Frame about Saudi Arabian life.
I want to make an all-female version of Steel Magnolias.
It is an all-female. It's already.
God damn it.
If Lindsay is, in fact, good friends with him, she wouldn't be the first Hollywood star to cavort with dictators, Kim Jong-un and Dennis Rodman. Hilary Swank and Ramzan Kadyrov.
Yes.
Steven Seagal and Vladimir Putin are just a few of the reported Hollywood political odd couples. So Lindsay might be, I don't know, tight with Mohammed bin Salman.
Wow.
And yeah, it's pretty wild, isn't it? A former Cape Breton University student says that she regrets not making a formal complaint 3 years ago against a professor who was fired this summer for demanding moose meat, lobster, and sex from a student in exchange for better grades.
In that order?
Moose meat, lobster, and sex.
All right, you don't have moose meat. You don't have lobster.
You got any lobster?
Sex. All right, look, how about sex?
She said,
Wait, I found some moose meat. Yeah!
She said, I wish I did something back then. I wish I got him fired, Jess Hardy said. Then the situation wouldn't have happened. She was a first-year student and said that Shamal Fernaduple made inappropriate comments and suggestions.
You're going to ruin the day, Fernaduple.
And her appearance, and implied that he wanted a sexual relationship with her, and he would say inappropriate things all the time. Now, unfortunately, as the story goes on, it never gets into the details about the moose meat and lobster.
Well, it's a bizarre
That's what I'm
pecking
most
order.
interested in.
Right, yes. You don't understand.
But they ended up firing this guy because he apparently did.
Was it the moose meat?
To a couple of students. It was the moose meat.
He's there in front of the dean. It was the moose meat, wasn't it? Well, actually, the number 3 on the list here, the sex.
So apparently he wasn't only demanding sex, but moose meat and lobster.
I should have stopped at lobster.
And they fired him. So there you go. That's all I have in the
It's
details.
like he's looking for something to round out the list.
Yeah.
And the sex.
Yeah. Kourtney Kardashian is fighting back against critics who claim that she does no work.
Preston, are you saying she's clapping back?
She is clapping back, Steve. Yep. And she got some blowback after posting multiple shots from her family vacations in Italy and Idaho. I know.
So what's it going to be, kids? Italy or Idaho?
She's only visiting places that start with I.
Yeah.
And Idaho happened to be on the list. In Italy,
Indiana.
In Italy, the Poosh founder partied with her 3 kids, Mason, Penelope, and Rain. Remember Poosh?
I'm sorry, I just pooshed.
Yeah, that's her. Is that her lifestyle brand? Poosh?
Trying to be like Goop, I guess.
Yeah.
Poosh. I just pooshed in my pants.
People who brought you queef. And drippy fart.
But she partied.
Poosh, and queef. The award-winning triple line from Kourtney Kardashian.
The Poosh founder partied with her 3 kids nominally for her sister Kylie's 22nd birthday.
With the subtle scent of salmon.
Several other family members were there, as was her ex, Scott Disick, with whom she shares her children, and his girlfriend, Sophia Richie. Now, in Idaho, Kourtney and her kids...
We're going to Idaho, kids!
...hung with her sister Kendall. One social media user commented, Kourtney, this is why people say you don't work, girl. And she replied, so she clapped back.
She clapped back.
We all have our priorities, so I'll be making memories with my kids and amazing people while living my life to the absolute fullest. And then a fight broke out between commenters who praised her for prioritizing her kids over at work and others who said, as working moms, they were dedicated to family too. And so Kourtney clapped back again.
So she clapped back at the mothers?
She says, who says I'm not a working mom? Because I most definitely am. Working moms can be dedicated, of course. As women, we should be supporting each other for what allows us to be our best, not being so critical and judgmental of each other. We all do things our own way.
Did they counterattack with the clap salvo?
I don't think so. There was not. Underlying her point, she wrote, a travel diary coming soon.
Can't wait.
On Poosh. Poosh. And I guess there must be an Instagram account because it says @Poosh.
Poosh.
Yeah, at Splooge. Splooge. We need to start our own lifestyle brand called
Jig Jill.
Splooge. All right. So anyhow,
that's her fight song.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song.
Live it,
To be
girl.
honest, though, following her on Instagram, I don't follow her on Instagram, but I follow her through all the pages of TMZ and all that stuff as I put together stuff for the Hollywood Trash. And to be honest, I've never seen her do anything.
All right, thanks, Kat. So we're going to have an announcement around Bizarre File time. I think that you will appreciate, so hang in there for it. That is coming up. We're also going to have actor Daniel Roebuck on. He's going to be playing Grandpa Munster.
You and I are big Munsters fans.
Absolutely.
And the dynamic between Herman and Grandpa is the show.
I agree.
Yeah.
So that's with Rob Zombie directing. So we'll talk to Mr. Roebuck as we get close to 9 o'clock. In the meantime, doubling back to the story they had in entertainment news, it was just this tragic story of the weekend. 8 people killed at this concert, the Astro World concert. And it says here more than 300 people injured in the whole thing.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
So at some point, things got out of control, and the crowd started surging forward. And people, I assume right now they're talking about cardiac arrest and so on. But yeah, you can get crushed, or not, or be able to breathe, be constricted.
It is. So throughout your life, you go to enough shows, when GA was like the Cincinnati Who concert, that was, that sort of seating or audience handling was the norm. And if you've ever been in a crowd, I have, where I felt like, wow, I don't like this. And my inclination is to immediately leave and go out to the perimeter.
Right.
And I'd rather do that, especially now. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact, Preston, that sound systems, video screens have made it not entirely necessary to be right up front.
Yeah.
Some people love to be in that. I'm not one of those people. And I've been to several shows that are like this, right? I've been to, the Woodstock 99 and, Made in America. I was in Austin City Limits, a couple of Fish Festival concerts, and same thing, Steve. I prefer to kind of be on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Again, because the experience for me is all the same, right? So like one of my favorite experiences was at a giant Fish Festival show. It was called It, and I sat all the way in the back, and we just set up camp. We put up our chairs, and it ended up being like the best night because we had all these other like performers. They were like fire jugglers and all that sort of. And I'm like, and so I didn't have to be all the way.
But that is
squeezed up front.
That is the thing, though. That is for a lot of people, for concert goers. It's the thing to be right up there.
Oh, I used to love being as close as I possibly could to get to the stage, and anytime I could get floor seats that were in that first row, first few rows of seats, I would jump on them. And I can't remember what show it was, but I do remember one time that it was. So there's a barricade in the front. There's seats and there's a barricade. And I remember getting, all of a sudden, it's like, here we go. Everybody left their seats and started moving forward. And I was like, oh, wow.
Right,
and I was like
right.
a teenager, so I'm like, here we go.
Here we
let's
go.
do it. I wish I remembered what show this was. But I do remember at one point going, wow, like, okay, this person behind me, their chest is on my back, and my chest is on the back of the person in front of me.
Right.
And I'm like, this, all right, everybody knows to stop pushing forward, right? And I never got really scared, but for a moment I was like, this could be weird here if it kept going.
Would you say you're inherently a personal space kind of guy? Because I am.
Yeah, not back then, though.
Not back then.
I wouldn't have cared.
All right,
but,
okay.
But more so now, yes.
It's remarkable how quickly you have zero control over everything that's going on around you. And I think that's really what happened and has happened at concerts like this. I mean, we mentioned the Pearl Jam show in Roskilde, Denmark, and that was 2009 people died at that. Casey, I was at Made in America in whatever year it was that Pearl Jam played with Jay-Z, and we were up front, and it's GA. It's 45,000 people on the Parkway. And when there's a surge to the front and you feel that surge, it's every direction around you, and you have no control as to which direction your body is actually headed.
Go ahead.
A lot of those like basement bars, like we would go see shows in college, and I mean they were like a bar in a basement, and
That's a whole other scenario.
they were
yeah.
packed. I mean, you were shoulder to shoulder, and I remember thinking,
Claustrophobic.
like if anything happens, like that's it. Like if there's no getting out. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
man.
we were packed in there.
You know what? Well, what that puts me in mind is of the Great White Show, which is the pyro that went bad fast in a super crowded room with very poor exit pathways, and that's what happened. People could not get out.
Yeah, hang on. I got calls coming in. I'm going to go to Don. Hey, Don. Good morning.
Morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, bud?
Hey, I grew up outside of Seattle. We used to go to shows out at the Tacoma Dome, and we went to a Def Leppard show in the end of the 80s. And we were at the rail, and the girls were standing in front of us, and the surge was so bad, we were braced against the rail as hard as we could with our arms. And, I mean, they were crushing us to the point that Joe Elliott stopped the concert, told people if they didn't back up and, give us some room, that band was going to leave stage. They ended up stopping the concert, got everybody to back up, security got in. Those of us in the front, he actually pulled up out of the audience and put us on the side of the stage for the rest of the show for what we've done.
No kidding.
Don, which
Wow.
you're talking about too, a lot of times good security will see that, and you'll see it a lot of times at concerts where you're seeing that massive crush. They'll start lifting people over the rails to get them out of that situation.
Yeah, the security actually alerted the band as to what was going on. And he came up and addressed the crowd directly. And when they didn't listen, he said, either back up or we're off the stage.
Yeah. That's sometimes you got to do it. And that's some people are criticizing a little bit of the Travis Scott. He did at some point. You can see they have audio of him saying, "Hey, we got somebody hurt down here. Come check them out and everything." But I don't know how easy it is for an artist to tell that that's going on.
So again, from what
Thanks,
I saw, it looked like he was up pretty high, and may not been, like he wasn't right at the edge of the stage seeing what was going on. He was elevated, and it might have looked okay. There's just a little ruckus, but 8 people, I mean, it's horrifying.
But do you remember when mosh pits were all the rage?
Yes, and they were fun.
Yeah. I got out there and
I did it once or twice.
Mixed it up a few times. It was goofy fun.
Yeah.
And you had the potential to get kicked around a little bit, but there was room to move.
Right.
Because that's what everybody was doing. They're throwing elbows around and pushing and shoving and all that stuff. It was a different kind of getting hurt thing.
Right. The whole notion of, as you said, Preston, where someone's chest is to your back, and you have no... then it's kind of like an undulating one mass. And if someone falls, then you have all of this sort of like everyone sort of in a chain starts to fall.
Yes.
And that's when the panic starts.
Yeah, exactly. Let me go to Kim, who's had this happen before. Hi, Kim. Good morning.
Hi. First time caller to the show.
Oh.
Hi, guys.
Welcome, Kim. What's up?
Well, I'm part of a foursome that goes to concerts together. In fact, we've been to quite a few barbecues.
Nice.
And there's a concert hierarchy when you go into the pit.
Okay.
You get in there first, and you stake your claim, and you get to know the people that are around you, so that when the crush starts, you have allies in which to hold back the crush.
Okay.
But I've had it already where there have been, like, young punks coming in the back, and, we've all been up there waiting for our favorite band to come on, and all of a sudden you got these people that are 3 strong, and they're pushing.
So
and if you've not done your homework and made friends with people around you, you're going to get pushed and you're going to fall.
All right, so you're saying that there's people in the back of the pit that want to make it to the front as close to the stage as they possibly can. They start,
right.
And at some point you can't go in between, and you start, I guess, pushing and try and get close.
They get pushed, they push, and they're very aggressive.
Yeah.
To
Kim,
the point where
I like your idea of building up a buffer around you so that everyone knows they're on the same page, that they're not going to allow that crush, that surge to take place. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Kim, are you and the crew pit people? You like to get down in there?
Yep. I've been down there for Godsmack. I've been down there for 9 Inch Nails.
You're not messing
I'm
around.
54 years old, but I mean, I still like to get in there, but it's all in the people around you, And I've had people that have, my husband said to somebody one time, listen, if you're getting that damn close, you better buy me dinner first.
Right.
Yeah.
But it can accelerate so quickly, and that's the thing.
All right.
I
Thanks,
like that
Ken.
idea.
Appreciate it. I want to go to this call real quick. It's Ariel. Hi. Ariel, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Ariel. So we were talking about this, when you feel that crowd, things are starting to get out of control, and you've had that happen before?
Yeah, I was 18 at the Electric Factory seeing Lamb of God with my boyfriend and my dad. My dad was around the outskirts, drinking, and my boyfriend and I were in the middle, and we got separated. And then all of a sudden, Lamb of God was about to come on. I had long hair. My hair was down. I looked up, and all of a sudden, everyone squeezed, so my head got stuck up because of my hair.
Wow.
And I got squeezed so hard that the breath literally got pushed out of me.
Whoa.
Next thing I know, my dad's arm was like yanking me because he saw what happened.
Yeah.
He had to pull me out of the crowd.
Good for him, man, that he was keeping an eye on you. But that could have gone really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Thanks, Ariel. All right. So, we're hearing Lamb of God, Godsmack, 9 Inch Nails, stuff like that. Let me go to Allison because her story is a little bit different. Allison, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. All right, Allison, where did you get crushed?
Longwood Gardens.
Oh,
my God.
Wow. What attraction? What hardcore attraction were you trying to see when this happened?
Hardcore Christmas display in the train room.
Oh, the train room.
Dude, you don't go in there unless you're ready.
I live crazy. None of these other people like this Lamb of God. No, I'm in the train room.
That's
So-
crazy.
so-
Did you have your kids with you too?
I had my son, he was in a stroller. My daughter was maybe 4. And this was before they really did the timed tickets. So this was years ago. So it was just crazy, crazy busy. We were all in the train room, and all of a sudden everything just stopped because there were so many people. And people just started squeezing in. My daughter got pushed off into the crowd.
Oh,
I
boy.
ended up hyperventilating and passing out. People were stepping on me. Some other lady fell over me. It was just like this whole domino effect. I've not been able. I will go back, but I will never do the train room again.
Well,
Ever.
if it's any consolation, Allison, they no longer allow stage diving.
Yeah.
there,
Oh, thank God.
They put a handle on
but
some
you're,
of this stuff.
she's giving a perfect example. Allison's giving a perfect example of something that seems very benign, but as people start to filter in, and I know that whenever I never wait to feel that uncomfortability twice. The first time I feel it, I leave.
There's another text that came up here. Oh, what was it? It was different than, it was something similar to this where, oh man, I can't find it, Nick, but it was something that had to do with not necessarily what you would expect. Oh, here you go. So the Eagles parade.
Right.
After
Yes.
the Super Bowl.
Right.
Near the art museum. There were people texting in about that and starting to get that sensation. I know Casey and I ventured out and started to make our way. And at one point it was like, okay, this is too dense. We can't go any farther than this. And I wouldn't want to be in that mass of humanity where it's just completely, nuts to butts, as they say. And Allison had mentioned it ending up falling on the ground.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes very, very, very dangerous.
That's a critical issue.
And Steve, you sent over this 10 tips to surviving a crowd crush. This is from theconversation.com. And so there's a number. I can go through a few of these if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll need all 10 of them, but this says, number 1, keep your eyes open. Obviously, you want to look around you and see if it's better to go turn back or go forward or go left or right. And that's what you need to do is take a good look around and assess the situation. It says, number 2, leave while you can. If the crowd thickens around you, the available space is reduced and your freedom of movement gradually diminishes. The longer you wait, the harder it will be to escape. Given this, don't hesitate to leave the highly congested area as soon as you start to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, like I was just saying. Yeah.
And while you have enough room to move. Here's the other one. Remain upright.
Yeah.
The most important thing is to retain your balance and stay upright. In a crowd push, people are pressed so tightly together that if someone falls, they create a domino effect, like Allison was saying, immediately taking down those around them. Should you fall, the weight of the other bodies will pin you to the ground before you have a chance to right yourself, so you got to stay on your feet.
That's like my worst nightmare.
And that's what happens. You start to lose your feet. I remember this one surge I was in. I remember like my feet going, okay.
Yeah.
These aren't helping anymore. I'm just kind of moving my hips were being pushed.
You're being swept along.
Yeah.
I'm feeling claustrophobic during this conversation. Like, I feel the squeeze happening around my arms. It's like the worst anxiety you can have.
This says, save your breath is number 4. Oxygen is your most precious resource. The vast majority of deaths in stampedes are caused by asphyxiation.
Oh, my God.
Avoid screaming unless you have to and control your breathing. Number 5 is arms at chest level. Should the pressure become intense, fold your arms up in front of you like a boxer.
Yeah.
In the position, you can protect your rib cage and keep a few centimeters of space around your ribs and lungs so you can breathe.
Yeah, God.
So you're actually pushing out,
Right.
with your elbows to give your chest room to move. It says, go with the flow. When pushed, our natural reflex can be to resist the pressure and push back. In a crowd crush, however, resisting will be a waste of precious energy. Instead, let yourself be carried by the flow or retaining your balance. Number 7, it says, move away from barriers. The only time when the previous tip does not apply is if you're next to a wall, fence, or other solid object that you can't climb up. The first victims of a crush are often pinned against barriers, as was the case in Turin in 2017. If possible, move away from any walls, pillars, and fences. Sometimes you can't, though.
You can't. You're locked. Yeah.
Number 8 says, understand the signs of density. To make good decisions, you must be able to evaluate the gravity of the situation. Some rule of thumbs for estimating crowd density. It says if you have no physical contact with those around you, your density is probably still under 3 people per square meter. So at present, all is well. If you're bumping up against one or another or 2 or people around you without meaning to, the density must be around 4 or 5 people per square meter. No immediate danger, but you start looking away, looking for places to get out. If you can't freely move your hands or touch your face, then that's too many people, and you got to get out of there. It says, in case of panic, though, it's a specific situation in a crowd which it rushes in the same direction to escape a real or suspected danger. So in these kinds of situations, the movement of the crowd can be more dangerous than any threat, real or imagined. Take a moment to evaluate the situation and calmly move to safety. So these are things you probably know. And then it says to help each other out as well. But that's something to keep in mind, especially you're protecting your chest and everything.
Well, that whole I can't breathe. That's going to cause panic.
Yeah. Hang on, let me go to I have Alex. Hey, Alex. Good morning.
Oh, Durka.
Durka to you. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good. What's your story, dude?
So about 15 years ago, I want to say, I was at the Electric Factory, and I guess one of the things that venue is famous for is its barrier. And I was at a Black Label Society show, Zach Wild's band, and we were getting crushed so bad, like I felt like I couldn't breathe. It was awful.
So did you feel that you were in risk of passing out?
Not to the point of passing out, just to the point of just getting crushed so much that I couldn't breathe, and then my back was in an arch shape, basically.
Were you in the pit when it happened?
Yeah. The pit was right behind us. That's what happened, and so as people were in that pit, in the vortex of the pit, going crazy. They were pushing against us. And I was right against the barrier. I mean, I was right against it.
Yeah, bad spot to be.
Yeah, they say the barrier is a risky proposition.
I wonder if security what their protocols are. If they signal the band, if that's part of the protocol, and tell them give them a sign or something like that, or if they just start yanking them and pulling them over the barrier.
I've seen that happen. I've seen it shows where they just start. They start plucking people right and left.
Yeah.
There was a firsthand account of a person that was at this show, the Astro World show, that had lost consciousness. And their firsthand account was they had the surge came, they lost consciousness, and then apparently what had happened was the crowd picked him or her. I don't know if it was a male or female. Him or her up, and then basically crowd surfed that person.
Oh, that's cool.
All the way to safety, and then they had come to when they were on the other side of it all.
All right, here's one that you wouldn't expect. Let me go to Brittany for this one. Hi, Brittany. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Hey, what's up? Look at Zooks. Britt, what's up?
All right. So my story is different from concerts. So this is about getting on a bus.
You were getting on a bus, okay?
Yeah, so this is back in 2018. I used to work in the hardest inner city. Excuse the noise, I am on a bus right now. And it was snowing that day, like really, really snowing. And we get told at work, like, oh, you guys are going to leave at noon. And they're like, yay. But I take that little bit to work. But unfortunately, everyone else is leaving too.
Right.
And I had to go to Frankfurt Terminal.
Okay.
But the buses are running behind on time. And anytime any bus showed up, crowd surge on the bus. And I'm thinking to myself, like, please don't let this happen when my bus shows up. And it happened. And my hands are up, and I'm telling people around me, like, I'm sorry, I swear I'm not pushing you. I'm just trying to get home, too. Like, this is crazy. Like, thankfully, nobody saw it.
So
Nobody
people
panicked.
are shoving as you're getting on the bus to get onto the bus?
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get in, it was just as crammed as you could get?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I can imagine something like that, man. It's anytime you have to go through a narrow little
That's
passageway
it.
to get somewhere.
That's it, yeah.
That would be, and here you are not pushing. Your body's getting pushed by someone else, and you get pushing in them. And, of course, the person that you're pushing into thinks that you're pushing them on purpose.
They're getting pissed at you.
You are lucky nobody fought at that ride.
Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody thought, and I was thankful for that looking back now.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Brittany. Appreciate it. Let me go next to Kyle. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, you guys rock.
Thanks, man. What's up? So you got caught up in a crowd?
Yeah, I was at the Super Bowl parade, actually, and luckily for me, I'm about 6 inches taller than most people. I'm about 6'5", 6'6". So
All right.
it was really nice to be able to see everybody. However, when I'm with my 5 guys back in college, we're trying to get through, and I'm like, man, my feet are really cold, even though it was a really cold day. I looked down. I didn't have any shoes anymore.
Your shoes got lost in the crowd surge?
Yeah, because of because everyone got pushing. We all got stuck in the mud.
Yes.
There was so much mud.
Oh, yeah. Down
I
by
can't-
the art museum was really muddy.
It was crazy. It was freaking cold too. And so,
Yep.
like, we're trying to push. And I'm like, well, at least my friends are keeping me warm. But we ended up losing one of my friends. We lost him for like 4 hours. We couldn't find him. And,
I think, dude, it was like 28 degrees that day or something. Yeah.
Oh, it was freaking terrible.
Yeah, oh my God.
It was so crushed. It was just nuts. I mean, I've never seen so many people in one spot in my
Yeah,
life. So,
exactly.
I don't remember hearing of anybody really getting hurt. Thanks,
No,
Kyle.
no.
But I do remember, the mud kind of kept us going from certain spots. We're like, we can't go there. Look at that.
Right.
That's just way too nasty. But, yeah, lost his shoes getting stuck in the muck. I will go next to Molly. Hey, Molly, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's up, Molly?
Good. So I have a story. We were actually in New York City for the ball drop, and it was both of our first times, and I was with my husband, and we were in line, and then out of nowhere, people just started pushing each other.
Oof.
And so we're trapped like in between like the barbells and everything, or whatever you call them. And I just remember like screaming out loud because like I was getting crushed into somebody else and my boyfriend was getting crushed into me. And I remember like slipping down, and like I remember like seeing like a bunch of kids were crying and people were yelling like, stop pushing, stop pushing. And then my husband was trying to keep me up, but like, you're doing so much walking that like your legs are fucking tired.
It's got to be incredibly traumatic to go through. I tell people all the time, having grown up in New York and have gone a few times, never again. It's not worth going down. It's too much. And besides that, when they put you in place, you can't leave to go to the bathroom. You got to stay where you are. Yeah.
Well, I wore a diaper because I was pregnant and decided to go, thinking it was going to be a romantic trip, but that it didn't turn out that way.
Oh my God!
Happy New Year!
I wear a diaper. I have a catheter. I'm all good to go for
Thanks,
fun.
Molly. Yeah, whenever they show those overhead shots of that, I'm like,
No.
way,
No.
forget it.
Nothing
dude.
says romantic trip like a diaper in a crowd.
Right?
That's what I was thinking.
I wore my lace diaper for you.
Ooh. Is that your New Year's diaper?
I think the romance.
Shows a little butt crack. I'm pissing right now.
Oh my
I'm
God!
seeing you here with the fireworks and the lights, and I'm just pissing like a buffalo.
Look at me. I want eye contact while this is happening.
I'm looking at you, but I'm feeling steam around my loins. From the piss.
Right.
Oh, I crapped too. I didn't even plan on that. Bonus.
Happy New Year.
The romance died when she slid the diaper on.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, here's
That's
one.
when you've committed to no romance.
Here's a crowd surge at something you wouldn't expect. Let me go to Tom. Hey, Tom. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. You work.
You work, Tom. What's up, bud?
The Pope came to Philadelphia several years ago. My wife and I and our kids, who were probably 13 and 14, went down, took the train in from the suburbs, did the whole walk with the masses, pardon the pun, get over to the Parkway, and we lined up right along the fence. We were about 8 hours early, so we were able to get right by the fence on the Parkway where the road is, not up by the stage. And he was about 8 hours later as he came by. He was a little bit delayed. And, all the grandmothers and everybody were pushing so hard to try and get a view of him driving by that myself and two other gentlemen had to interlock our arms and brace them against the fences and the railings to put our kids on the inside.
Oh, wow.
Because there was such a surge from
Right.
the middle of the Parkway, people pushing to get to the edge to see him drive by.
So,
at
Tom,
30 miles an hour.
you made like a human cage around your kids.
Correct.
Huh.
Just to brace them out. Our wives were, getting a little bit panicky, but there were people getting ready to have a fist fight to see the Pope drive by.
Now, Tom, throughout history, the various popes have hired the Hells Angels for security.
That time at Altamont.
Yeah,
I
and
remember that.
Altamont was a disaster.
They should put a video out so people can brace for the Pope.
All right. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Let me go to another one because Dave's been on hold for a long time. So let's get to him. Hi, Dave. Good morning, sir.
Yes, how you doing, bitches?
What's up, bitch?
Congratulations, too.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. What do you want to share with us? What show were you at?
I've been dying to tell this story for so many years, and I never had the opportunity. I took my son to a 30 Seconds to Mars concert. I believe it was the Electric Factory.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never seen it. I've been to many concerts. I used to work for a lot of the Philly venues. I was able to get up close many times. I've been squashed many times at a Stones concert, et cetera. Yeah. But this was a really weird thing. They had this internal kind of like mosh pit, and it would move. Like they would start out on the left side, and then it would gradually get bigger. It would get smaller, and it got so bad, I got scared. I literally was scared. I went to the front door. I talked to the security guys. I said, "You know what's going on in there?" I said, "People are actually getting hurt because they were pushing and shoving, and it was almost like it was part of the show, basically." And the guy says, "Did you read the warning signs before you came in?" And they had these, little pieces of paper from a printer that, just basically said, "Beware."
Beware.
And it was, I mean, basically, be cautious that these things occur during the show, but who reads that before they go into an event?
But Dave, did you find out if that's something that is like part of the thing at a 30 to Mars, 30 Seconds to Mars show where they kind of do that on purpose?
It was.
Okay.
I mean, it's a whole thing with the crowd that follows them, and I didn't know this. My son just liked 30 Seconds. It was a great show.
Well,
but
maybe
it was
that's
just
meant to
really
replicate space travel, that you're just floating around
maybe.
30 Seconds to Mars. That I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it was really bizarre. But I even got a better story. I was in a severe car accident in '78. I was in the hospital for like 6 months. I went through the windshield, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I get out. My family threw a surprise party for me. And after things died down, I was able to talk to some of the people I hadn't seen in years. And I was telling this, I met this one guy I hadn't seen in a long time. And he was in a wheelchair. And I said, "What happened to you?" He says, "Oh, man, I went to a concert at the Spectrum. And I was on the second level with all my, with all the guys, and the people started pushing and shoving, and I was against the rail, and the next thing you know, I went over the rail."
Ugh.
He said, "I was hanging from the second level, screaming at the top of my lungs," and this was all before the concert started when, they were throwing Frisbees and the balls and everything beforehand, and he said it was so loud that nobody can hear me, and he says, I was hanging for like 10 minutes. I couldn't hang any longer. I had to let go. He fell from the second level into the seats below. Luckily, he didn't hit anybody because, like I said, it was before the show. But he got busted up really bad, ended up in a wheelchair over it.
I think I remember this story. I don't think Clay Aiken even went on that night, right?
But you know what? The one thing you guys never talk about is the Philly fans.
And a lot of times, Philly's pretty crazy. My uncle was out in California for a couple of years, and he called me up one time. I think it was in '78. He says, "Hey, man, I know you went to the Stones concert. How did you like Peter Tosh?" And I said, "Well, I was really digging him until about the second song when somebody hit him with a football." And they basically threw him off the stage.
Yeah, we've talked about this. We've been for decades here. We've talked about the fans, and a lot of times I think Philly fans are unfairly maligned. But sometimes it's well deserved. But
but to boo Peter Tosh off the
you don't boo Peter Tosh. Not in this
Out in
city.
California.
Not on my watch.
That was in California.
Oh. Not
My
in California.
uncle said he listened to them for like an hour long. He said it was the greatest reggae thing he ever saw.
And yet he got clocked in the face with a football.
One last thing, you
All
guys.
right, Dave, you got to make it quick.
minutes.
Come on, bud.
One last thing. When they booed Neil Young off the stage when he came out with the Pinkettes and Rockabilly.
What about
Do
it?
you remember that?
No, I don't. I'm trying to forget. I've blocked it out. Dave.
He would do an acoustic set, then he would do an electric
All right,
set.
Dave. Were there people in the crowd getting crushed at that?
Yes.
Oh my, really?
What happened was he did the acoustic set, which everybody expected, and then he would do the electric set after a break.
Yep.
Well, when he came out to do the electric set, they all were wearing pink tuxedos, and they started playing rockabilly. And by the second song, they started booing. By the third song, they started throwing stuff, and before you know it, we were all just trying to get to an exit, and we were getting crushed trying to leave the Spectrum.
That's weird. I don't remember that story.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, that happened in Philly.
All right, Dave. Appreciate it, man. You've been around, dude.
All right, guys, rock on.
Stop getting
we'll see ya.
crushed.
Yeah, stop that.
Yeah, stop with the crushing.
Interesting. Some people are concurring with the 30 Seconds of Mars thing. Somebody texted in and said they saw him in Atlantic City, and it was similar to that. So I didn't know that. And then this real quick, and then we got to take a break. And I have seen this before. Text from somebody says, I went to Japan, and they have a person that actually pushes people into the trains to get more people in. Like they shove them
I've heard
in.
about that.
I've
yeah.
seen videos of
Right.
it. It's crazy.
Are they like sumo size? Do we know?
No,
Or-
they just look like
Regular
normal
people,
human
yeah.
beings, but their gig is to
Push.
wedge
Yeah.
people
Oh,
in
my
there
God.
to make sure they get as many. We're looking at a video right now. Kathy, look at this. The guy's like pushing.
Oh my God, that is ridiculous.
Trying to keep the door open so they can squeeze one more guy in.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine? And his face is pressed up against the glass.
That is
We're-
awful.
We're watching that video right now.
Oh my
All
God,
right.
it's insane.
Anyhow, well, this is
Take the next train.
obviously this is a huge tragedy of all these people being killed at this Travis Scott, this Astroworld concert, and but when stuff like this happens, you hopefully they can put protocols in place,
Something.
and stuff to minimize anything like that from ever happening again. But there will be more on this as the days play out. So thanks for your calls. Appreciate it. We got to take a break. We'll come back in a second. When we come back, the Bizarre File is coming up, and we have an announcement to pass along to you. We think you'll appreciate it. Stay with us. Be right back.
But vacation.
I know.
Yeah, never.
That's what her job is.
That is her job.
Yep. Well, she's working hard then.
Well, just consult Poosh if you want to find out what she's up to.
Let's talk about the happiest place on earth.
It's magical.
Disney. This is Disneyland, by the way, in Anaheim. And there's a viral video, yes, that is making the rounds of a couple of families beating the ever-loving piss out of each other for about 4 minutes before they finally go their separate ways.
That's a long fight.
It is a long fight.
Is someone in a wheelchair?
It's in Toontown, by the way. There was somebody on a mobility scooter.
Okay, all right.
Kathy, but the fight happens. They start to split up. Then it sparks back up again. Then they kind of split up. Then it keeps going on and on.
I mean, and it's like the Andy Kaufman used to do the intergender wrestling.
Yeah.
They're brawling. Doesn't matter. The dude's beating on the woman.
Oh my God! Wait, so that's okay. I'm just seeing this for the first time.
the
guy
fists are
punches
flying.
the woman.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a couple of women beating up. It's just a mess.
Where's security?
Not that it's an excuse, but it kicks off. They're having words, and the woman just spits right in this guy's face, and then he slugs her. But I can't figure out who's on whose side.
No, and
There's
neither can I.
It's like I'm like, oh, He's hitting her now? I thought she was with him. And it's just, who the hell knows what's going on?
And then the woman in the mobility scooter gets up as if she
can walk.
Yeah.
It's a
miracle. This stupid fight between these imbeciles has caused a miracle.
You know what? And there's a moment in this video where the whoever is filming this video, by the way, is laughing the whole time. She's not with them because obviously she would be getting in the middle of this.
And she's up close.
But there's an older woman who gets knocked down to the ground on her back, and you hear the woman filming just laughing her ass off. And I'm like, this is, and you can hear children crying in the background.
Oh my God. There's a little kid walking around, and it's obviously this is there. I will freely admit, I chuckled a few times, but the really tragic part of this here is this little kid is watching these adults do this and walking around with his hands up like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Even a kid can't figure it out.
And he taps, I guess, who is his mother, like, hello, I'm here. Obviously he needs attention. He's upset too.
And all the while in the background, you have the delightfully colored Toontown.
Oh, my God.
Happy place.
Listen, I understand that things can go awry anywhere, and somebody can have a bad day, and something can trigger. But if you can have the presence of mind to be aware of where you are, right then and there, you're in Disneyland,
the happiest place on earth.
Come on, look around you, see where you are. Shut up. But some people are just. Some people are just a-holes.
It just kills me in this one because there was another one, Preston. I forget it was at like a kids park. It was like an amusement park. It very well may have been Disney World. And this one's great because the woman in the mobility scooter in that one, Kathy, she doesn't get up, but she starts using her mobility scooter to join the fight.
Oh,
She's
wow.
backing up and ramming the brawling people.
So apparently this one, they're all in the same family. They're all related.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So this is an ongoing investigation. No arrests have been made, but there was infighting that had begun outside of the park, and the fight just continued inside the park. No arrests. They all knew each other.
Ridiculous.
Well, not yet anyway, Case. They said the investigation's ongoing. But
After they viewed the video, now they're looking at potentially.
Because then that guy goes on.
Everything. I saw it all. It was a mess.
But then the guy goes on to slap another woman and take her to the ground.
Kathy, he doesn't just slap her. I mean, and this is horrifying, but he gives her a haymaker.
Just some unwritten rules, right? Like
protocol.
Yeah, protocol.
You don't fire on someone else's bitch.
No, you don't.
Not in Toontown.
Not in Toontown, man. You take that to Epcot.
I think, Casey, of your story at the 4th of July parade all the time.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And the bending down and addressing them as a father to kids who needed to be addressed by their father. But like you get in that mentality sometimes, and this is a place where that can happen.
You can have an Independence Day from life.
Oh, I totally understand.
I'm going to make you independent of your life.
But on the outside, everybody else is
Hey,
like,
what a good dad.
Oh, you were so, you poor thing, you're so upset. You better stop crying right now.
Don't cry. Don't even let him know you're in pain.
A former Cape Breton University student says that she regrets not making a formal complaint 3 years ago against a professor who was fired this summer for demanding moose meat, lobster, and sex from a student in exchange for better grades.
In that order?
Moose meat, lobster, and sex.
All right, you don't have moose meat. You don't have lobster.
You got any lobster?
Thanks. All right, look, how about sex?
She said,
Wait, I found some moose meat. Yeah!
She said, I wish I did something back then. I wish I got him fired, Jess Hardy said. Then the situation wouldn't have happened. She was a first-year student and said that Shamal Fernaduple made inappropriate comments and suggestions.
You're going to ruin the day, Fernaduple.
And her appearance, and implied that he wanted a sexual relationship with her, and he would say inappropriate things all the time. Now, unfortunately, as the story goes on, it never gets into the details about the moose meat and lobster.
Well, it's a bizarre
That's what I'm
pecking
most
order.
interested in.
Right, yes. You don't understand.
But they ended up firing this guy because he apparently did.
Was it the moose meat?
To a couple of students. It was the moose meat.
He's there in front of the dean. It was the moose meat, wasn't it? Well, actually, the number 3 on the list here, the sex.
So apparently he wasn't only demanding sex, but moose meat and lobster.
I should have stopped at lobster.
And they fired him. So there you go. That's all I have in the
It's
details.
like he's looking for something to round out the list.
Yeah.
And the sex.
Yeah. So I was surprised the other day when my daughter came to me and described a very specific detail of what I'm assuming. I don't know if it's a social class or if it's just a fashion or what.
Huh.
But I was like, okay, this is all new to me, and I've forgotten what the full description is. So if anybody wants to call in, if you're familiar with this term, but Vsco girls, yeah, and that's spelled VSCO.
Yeah,
Vsco. You've heard of this, Nick?
I have. I hadn't heard of it until Friday, and
Okay.
so I learned about it just as recently as you did, Preston. Vsco.
From Ben?
No, from BuzzFeed of all places.
Okay.
I read an article about it. I saw Vsco online somewhere, right, as about a post. I didn't know what those letters meant. VSCO.
Yeah, I still don't know.
It's an app, and it stands for Visual Supply Company, right? And, the reason that I know that it's an app is that my girlfriend does some photography on the side, and she's used this app to process photos. What girls now are doing, Preston, is they're taking this app and they are applying it to their social media posts, and now it's also become its own social media thing.
Nick, look at this top text. Do you know what that means? Okay, so it just says SK. Apparently, they go around going.
Wait,
like
okay,
that.
well,
Okay.
so-
There's a Vsco.
So what is it?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. Our phone lines are lighting up, so
Yeah.
we'll find out in a minute here.
It's
right. That's what it is.
As far as social status goes, it's a new thing for this school year. It's brand new. But
How is it social status though?
because it's a look. So basically,
it's a look.
If you are a Vsco girl, you are you kind of look like you came from the beach. You wear scrunchies around your wrist.
Scrunchies are a big thing.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You carry
on your wrist.
You carry around a hydro flask. And you have a natural look, Kathy. So you don't go heavily made up.
So like Renee Zellweger.
So it's not like a filter that
It is. Yeah. So the Vsco app is a filter that you can apply, but it's a lighter filter. So sometimes Instagram models will go very heavy on their filters, right?
Right.
And so you look incredibly made up, and you will take an Instagram app and you'll use that app to change your look essentially on your social media post.
It happens all the time.
Vsco girls, Steve, don't do that. They go the opposite route. They go very natural,
completely raw,
very light makeup,
unfiltered.
Yeah, and there are two essential settings on the Vsco app that you use for your look. And now it's translated from this app to real life.
Okay.
Wow, man, Preston. So when in school we had Crisco girls, we had a lot of fried chicken.
Yeah. Sure.
Crisco girl.
They would bring fried chicken to school.
Yeah, those are Crisco girls.
Crisco girls.
Yeah.
My
Florence Henderson was a Crisco. Westonality.
And they would go.
That's Crisco girl.
It's them eating the skin off of the chicken. So Caroline, my daughter, was wearing a shirt and it was too long. She's like, I'm tucking this in because I don't want to look like a Vsco girl. Not that meaning that she doesn't want to be one, but it looks like you're not wearing pants.
Not wearing pants. Okay,
yeah,
I've
that
seen
you're
this.
not wearing shorts.
I've seen this. I've seen the looking like you're not wearing shorts.
Where did that look? That look has been around before.
No, but I've recently seen it pick up, and I'm like, look at these kids. Like their shorts are so short that they look like they're not wearing any.
My dad was a Vsco girl before anyone knew. He just wear a long coat and shorts.
Yeah.
You also might have known them as flashers.
Yeah.
Case, is your daughter into it? Or is she Vsco? What do you say? Help me out here, guys.
She's a Delco girl.
She's a Delco girl, Kath. You know what? I don't know.
Is she
I don't
Vsco?
know. I don't know how new this scene is, but here's the deal. My kids go to Catholic schools, so they all wear the same thing at school. And then we just got done in the summer, and we were down the beach all the time.
I saw a text that this is supposed to be camera sound.
Oh my God! I love it. I want to be a
You
Vsco
do?
boy.
I always wore big clothes. There was a period of time where we looked like we were 900 pounds only because we wore oversized
Baggy
clothes.
stuff. Baggy stuff.
Who decided all this stuff? All these various things together make this. You know what I mean?
A Vsco girl.
Yeah.
I think it's just a style. I keep relating it to the hippie. It's just
It
the
is,
hippie
but
like
somebody
the.
had to put these pieces together. They don't necessarily, automatically go together.
The thing, Preston, that you're reacting to, and I think I agree, is because like things like this would happen over the course of a little while, and like in school, going to school, you start to see people adopting something, and there'd be a movie, or there'd be something that they would, or a musician or somebody they're responding to. But this seems true for a lot of the people are saying from 0 to 60.
I know.
Because of social media.
It's like the now this isn't a fashion thing, but it was an accessory people had. You remember the fidget spinners?
Oh yeah,
like that took off in 10 minutes.
Boom,
and everybody had them, and then they were gone.
Look at this Vsco Girl Starter Pack.
You can buy this
$150
for $150.
Should we get it, guys?
It says Giant Vsco Starter Pack.
Preston, we need to start. We need to be Crisco boys.
Scrunchies, Crocs.
I like those tie-dye Crocs.
What else? There's the shorts, and oversized shirt. What do you see?
No, Kathy liking the Crocs now.
I like the tie-dye
Just
Crocs.
like 10 minutes ago, she's like, not for adults.
Oh, well, no, I wouldn't buy them and wear them.
But Steve, it's funny because you were talking about how these things, how they can happen so quickly. When people are getting back to school this week and they come home demanding the scrunchies, that means that like this thing is taken off and they want to be like all the other people who are in the group.
That's funny.
Some people are texting in, and I've gotten some emails that there is a phrase that goes along, not just the SK one, I oop.
I oop.
I don't know what that means.
There's another one, Nick.
That's
no, no, that's mine. You can't have that.
I oop.
But I oop is a
Can
thing.
we make that part of the Crisco boys?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's allowed. But
All right, how's I oop spelled?
I oop is I, the letter I, and then OOP.
Okay. Oh yeah. Again, it says I oop. Here, there's a I oop can be used as a reaction to express sudden surprise or shock over an unexpected situation. That's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
For example, you can say it if someone calls someone else out on social media in a mic drop moment, as in I oop. Okay.
Because it says here, honestly, who says mic drop anymore? That's old
please.
now.
That's so old.
Nick, you know that I love you, but I do find it a little creepy that you know the most up this.
Well,
anyone
he
on
looked
the
it up
show.
on BuzzFeed.
Research?
Yeah, no, I stalk 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to hear it?
Interesting. Oh, yeah,
Jasmine
thanks.
Masters, I think.
All right.
I crashed in my back seat for a couple of hours, and
All right, okay.
And that's funny.
And,
Okay.
And hence the beginning of a new phrase.
Wow.
Bizarre.
Sitting on your balls created a thing.
Where some things come from
And yet
how they take off.
We can't get to take off.
Nobody can pronounce it.
And it's very hard.
That's the only thing.
I
Too many
is much
syllables.
easier. All
Although I got a text from somebody who says I'm 27 and I just found out I'm a Vsco girl.
it's like going and looking at your X-rays.
Yeah.
I have some bad news. You're a Vsco girl.
What would be some positive workplace habits? It doesn't give any examples here at all. So I'm wondering what we could do. Maybe some yoga or something like that.
Well, let's assess.
Maybe like clean up your area.
Are you talking to me?
No, I was just saying that's like a positive workplace.
I just
put
knew.
all my stuff in there. It's a mess.
This morning, Kathy goes to me. She goes, "Oh, your area looks really nice, Steve." And Preston goes, "Oh, what about mine?"
Mine's just an absolute. It looks like an atom bomb went
It
off.
actually looks worse than the old office.
I haven't done anything. I just dragged all my crap in here.
Listen, I was
and
not
set
talking to you.
And
I was just saying in
Steve,
general.
your area looks very nice.
That's pretty mean.
Steve came in over the weekend and worked on his.
I did. Whereas Preston just poured at his.
I
over.
just brought
Didn't
my
have
stuff over
chance.
and left it. I'm going to work on it today.
I was just complimenting Steve because the shelving in the new office was made specifically for his guys. Like,
Yes, my Batman.
It looks so nice. I wasn't saying it.
Kathy did it in the way where you're talking to one person, but your mouth is actually towards someone else who you want to make sure they hear that particular statement.
Your part of the office looks much better. The cleanly, orderly way you've approached your workspace is impressive.
I swear, I was not saying it because yours was messy.
It did feel good to purge, like
Oh my God, I
getting
love
rid of
it.
a lot of stuff. And I found files from like 2008, 2009 when we moved into that office.
I found that puppy I never gave Marissa.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Listen, to make me realize how long we've been in that office, I've had some stuff hanging in my area on the wall space there, notes that my sons wrote to me.
Oh, yeah.
In little kid
That's
handwriting
cute.
of Daddy, I
Yeah.
love you. I hope you have a nice day.
Lar.
I think we're going to lead this segment with an announcement.
Yay!
And we got some details for you about an event that is on the way. This event will be taking place Friday, December 17th. And we are happy to announce it is the return of the Preston and Steve Christmas Miracle! doing it once again, friends. And this will be, like I said, on a Friday, December 17th. And we are headed back to the 360 Lounge inside Parks Casino.
I love that place.
I do too. So they had changed it into a sporting venue for a while, and now it's back to the 360 Lounge, which we had our Christmas Miracle there for years. We went into the Excite Center last time. And still, since we're working on crowds getting a little bit larger as we go along, we're going to do this one in 360, which is awesome because the layout of that club is absolutely perfect for this event.
It turns out our Christmas Miracle is more popular than sports.
And what's great, too, is the bar is right there in the very front, and it makes it very accessible if you feel like having yourself a cocktail at that hour of the day.
Many people do.
That they do. And in fact, the whole thing is sponsored by Miller Lite, the ugly sweater edition of our Christmas Miracle. So yes, we will have the ugly sweater contest taking place.
They provided me with a few ugly sweaters over the years.
You will have to win your way into the studio audience. You want to listen to win on air or enter for a chance to win at a Miller Lite pre-party that we'll be doing. Only the seat winner will be eligible for Christmas Miracle prizes. Winners and guests must be at least 21 years of age to attend. So if you're not familiar, if you're fairly new to the Preston and Steve show, the Christmas Miracle is something we do towards the end of the year where we just give away tons of prizes.
Yes.
And
that's basically it.
Ask you trivia questions. We like to go for fans of our show who have been around for a while. It's kind of a loyalty bonus, if you will. And we will ask trivia questions about our show. And correct answers end up winning some really cool packages and cash prizes and all kinds of things.
You get stuff just for being there and being in the audience, and then on top, you get a shot at winning some pretty awesome stuff.
That's true. We hand out some gift bags and things like that, so we'll have details on what all is going to be in that as we get a little bit closer to the event. You can click on events at WMMR.com for info, including dates and locations for the Miller Lite pre-party. So event number 1 is going to be Friday the 12th. So that's this coming Friday. Wow. And it will be at Bailey's Bar and Grill in Levittown. So you want to stop by there from 6 to 8 p.m. and your opportunity to win a pass to be a seat, potential contestant.
Love it.
Good
at
wings.
The Christmas Miracle. And they have great wings there?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, so Friday, December 17th, set aside the date, 360 inside Parks Casino. Invite only. You got to win to get in. And those details coming up soon on that. You can go to WMMR.
It's a Christmas miracle! Yeah!
So
Woo-hoo!
I'm excited that's happening again.
I just bought the Griswold, house and the little the decorations, Preston. It's a big thing this year, and I'm a sucker. So I bought the house. I bought Cousin Eddie's, RV and the whole thing. It lights up, and you can put it on a table. So,
Aww.
yes,
nice.
Of course, and it's probably a piece of crap, but I ordered it because I love it. I am so in on Christmas and so excited for the Christmas Miracle this year because it's just like being at the camp out the way we had it, going back towards normalcy and seeing smiling faces and everything. It was great.
Yep. So there it is. Put it on the calendar, December 17th, a Friday. Let's do the B5.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, it's brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. You can download the DraftKings app and use the code ROCK to get in on the action. We are going to start with a story out of Looneyville, West Virginia.
Looneyville.
Boy, does this make sense. A man in Looneyville allegedly killed his father-in-law with a leaf blower during a dispute over a pig.
So how do you kill someone with a leaf blower?
You beat him to death with it.
Oh, see, there we go.
Andrew,
that's something I didn't think about.
Franklin Bush and his father-in-law, William Greathouse, were attempting to lift a caged pig onto the bed of a truck when the cage fell to the ground. As a result, the men began to fight. Witnesses reportedly observed Bush and Greathouse shouting obscenities at each other as they punched each other. Bush apparently punched Greathouse so hard he knocked his glasses off, and as Greathouse hit back in response, Bush grabbed the leaf blower and swung the device at Greathouse's head. Greathouse was later found by police on the bed of the pickup truck. He was still unconscious, not breathing, and beginning to turn blue in the face and hands. The victim also had an obvious indentation in his forehead that had a small open laceration.
Look, the leaf blower fits right in here.
In the complaint, Bush stated that he, quote, was mad and felt like he wanted to hurt Greathouse, but he was sorry for what he did and that hitting Greathouse with the leaf blower was too excessive.
Loony, loony, loony.
It's in Looneyville. Greathouse later died after the incident. Meanwhile, Bush has since been arrested and charged with second-degree murder and malicious assault. He's currently being held on a $100,000 bond.
In Looneyville.
Yep, that's where it
Loony,
is.
loony, loony.
That's Stand By Me?
It is Stand By Me. It's one of Casey's favorite lines. A Dutch man had to undergo reconstructive surgery on his penis.
Oh, no.
After a cobra bit his manhood during a safari trip in South Africa, causing it to rot.
Oh, my God.
Oh, dear God.
Yep.
A rotten cobra penis.
The 47-year-old victim suffered scrotal necrosis.
Oh, I don't like that.
After the cold-blooded serpent, which was lurking in the toilet bowl, attacked him.
No, this is awful.
In what the medical journal described as the first case of, quote, snouted cobra envenomation of the genitals. The unidentified man had to wait 3 hours before he was flown by helicopter to the nearest trauma center some 220 miles away.
I would have run.
The medical report said his penis and scrotum were noted to be swollen, deep purple in color, and painful on hospital admission. Scrotal necrosis was diagnosed, and he received multiple doses of a non-specific snake venom anti-serum
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute?
and broad-spectrum antibiotics. The man reported vomiting and a burning sensation, as well as pain that shot up from his groin into the abdomen and upper chest, though he developed no neurological symptoms during the ordeal.
There's just no way to have your penis fall off.
He required hemodialysis due to acute kidney injury before undergoing reconstructive surgery. The scrotal necrosis was reported to involve the entire fascia, which is skin to internal spermatic.
Oh, my God.
And was excised with extensive margins. Primary closure was performed, leaving a drain. Apparently, after 9 days, the patient was repatriated to the Netherlands. A plastic surgeon later performed a penile shaft debridement with extensive resection of dead tissue, extending to the corpus spongiosum.
Right next to the Dongatopia.
To the fold
That was a Disney movie, I think.
Yep, Dongatopia.
Of perputium.
Yeah.
A graft from the groin was then placed over the penis, and he has made a full recovery.
Yeah.
So you gotta give him that.
So what does he have? Did he describe what he has between his legs right now?
No.
Okay.
No, it's an implant.
Okay.
You know, so I don't know how well he's doing in that
And cigarette lighter.
department. Yeah.
Upgrade.
Jamie Melnick says she couldn't believe her eyes as a moose smashed into a schoolroom located directly across the hallway from her son's daycare.
Why don't you forget the moose?
Yes.
For a moment.
This was at Sylvia Fedoric School in Saskatoon. Her son spotted the moose running outside and was excited to see the huge animal at his school.
Moose!
Suddenly, the moose ran through a large glass window in a community room and eventually slumped to the ground in shock.
What the hell happened?
Despite the chaos, Melnick...
That was like...
Where'd that one come from?
Is that a moose?
That's a moose.
Listen to that thing go. Play it again.
It's very Stallone.
It's like Stallone. What's that I hear on the roof?
I got more.
No, that's a bear.
That's a bear.
That is a bear.
It's a bear moose.
Yeah.
Go back to the moose. So she said, I was very calm about
Rocky,
it.
are you okay in there?
It didn't really.
Don't talk to me. I have some bad clams.
It didn't faze me as much as it probably should have, she said. The moose broke into the room just before 9 a.m. as a before-to-school program was wrapping up for the morning. Immediately, Melnick said the room supervisor gathered up the children in the room and got them to safety. She snapped a picture of the young moose as it laid down near the classroom's door, dazed from the experience.
I find them fascinating. We're looking at the picture of the moose in the room, and it's but even as a small one, as a young one, it's enormous.
Yep.
Man River.
No one was seriously injured, and one student sustained minor injuries but did not need medical help. Within about 45 minutes, conservation officers had tranquilized the moose and brought the unconscious animal outside. The moose was in good condition and released outside of the city. So
Why don't you forget the moose?
Yes.
For a moment.
It's just outrageous. Wait, there's a little more. I want to hear this.
Same one.
Oh, is it? There's a little more.
Listen to the chamber, the sound of that, size of that. There's almost like a subwoofer quality to it.
Well, there was a third one that he was kind of like unsure. He was like, rah, and then he's like, well, I don't know.
Hang on.
Right there.
Oh, that last little.
Yeah, he's like,
screw it. Hell, I don't know. All right, and that's it. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, let's take a break and come back in a moment. Don't forget, we're going to have actor Daniel Roebuck, who's going to be playing Grandpa Munster in the Munsters movie, which is directed by Rob Zombie, and Daniel's an old friend of the show, so we're looking forward to talking to him about that. We'll be back in a second. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3.
I mean, that's how long we've been in that room. We've been in that room for 15 years.
And it does mean a lot because we started when we came here. First off, so that was not initially our first.
I guess
office
it hasn't been 15 years.
Yeah.
It's been at least a dozen years,
right?
Though, but
because we're in it was Kathy, you, and I were in that small office that used to be a closet. Yeah.
So here's another thing that you can do to help get past the post-holiday vacation back-to-work blues. Don't dwell.
Okay.
Don't dwell.
Yeah. Don't feel sorry.
Lou, I couldn't help but noticing that you're dwelling. Is it that obvious?
Doesn't dwell mean to just live, just to, just to
sort of
stay in one
ruminate,
place?
yeah.
Hanging out.
Don't dwell. Don't feel sorry for yourself, it says. Start some new office habits. This is how to beat the post-holiday...
Should you clean your office area?
The post-holiday vacation back-to-work blues. Clean your damn office. All right, how about this one? This is just... Here you go. This is all it says you need to do. Reflect.
Wait, that's too close to dwelling.
Seriously.
Where's the delineation between reflecting and dwelling?
You're not supposed to dwell. However, you should reflect.
God damn it, Earl, I was reflecting.
Looked like you were dwelling.
Well, I wasn't. You nosy ass.
So it says here.
Gentlemen, what? Well, he's always saying I'm dwelling. I was clearly reflecting. My head was up with my chin cocked a little bit to the left. That's reflecting.
That's reflecting.
Dwelling is hands on the temples down.
Yes, chin down. That would be dwelling.
You idiot.
Yeah. Lily Allen and Stranger Things star David Harbour dating.
This is way better.
I had to look up Lily Allen, and I still don't know who she is. Is she a singer?
I believe so, right?
I think
don't
she's
know.
A dancer.
Oh, no.
No, she was a dancer.
She's a dancer.
Oh, my God!
Stop. Oh, I like her.
Oh, her brother's Alfie Allen from Game of Thrones.
And Lily Allen is from a while. She had career was on fire about 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
Her brother is Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones, and she's a singer? No,
she was a dancer.
Jinx, oh my God! Honestly, is she a singer?
She's a singer.
All right.
Her brother is Marcus Allen.
Honestly.
And Preston, is she a singer?
Yeah, she's a singer.
I'm not doing it.
Why not? No, she was a dancer. Jinx, oh my God!
Stop. Gets worse.
Okay, I thought she was an actress.
No, she's a singer.
No, she was a dancer. Jinx, oh my God!
Okay.
She had a couple of hits. She was at yes. What are some of her hits? We all know her hits.
Well, the girl that we're looking at, the girl that we have up in this photo, I think is the actress that I looked up on IMDb.
No, that's the singer.
No, she was a dancer.
No, she was a dancer. Jinx, oh my God!
Lily Allen, for Christ's sake, she's a musician, right?
Okay.
Are we looking up two different people?
There are a ton of acting credits for
No, those are soundtrack.
someone named Lily Allen. Those are soundtrack. Oh.
Those are not acting credits.
Okay. We all
She was an
clear?
actor?
Are we clear? No. She's a singer.
She has a song called "Fu."
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
I know that one. All right.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyhow, they might be dating, her and David Harbour.
Lily legs, Lily.
Londoners have spotted the two out hanging out and, of course, post about it on social media. Somebody wrote, David Harbour, when on earth did this happen? And it was alongside a screenshot of her, of her TV screen showing the couple at a boxing event.
Huh, good for him.
They first sparked rumors earlier this month when they were spotted taking in a West End performance of the Lehman trilogy.
Are we good enough friends with him now to just blow a call in?
Of course we are.
Yeah.
What time is it in London?
We did have a really good time with him.
Yeah.
It's like noon.
Super nice guy. Yeah, it's
So he's probably up.
Yeah, we give him a call.
Hello?
Yeah, David.
Yeah, David, it's Preston and Steve. Are you dating Lily Allen?
Yeah.
She's a singer, right?
No, she was a dancer.
Jinx, oh my God! What are Casey and Kathy doing on this
We
call?
just had to do that. We had to do that because this is funny.
Okay, bye.
Okay, Woody Allen, maybe persona non grata in Hollywood, but Scarlett Johansson would work with him anytime. The A-lister is one of the few stars to publicly signal her support for the director.
He was the original choice for Captain America.
I did not realize that he would actually.
I don't think the serum worked.
Yeah.
I don't feel very super.
He was the original.
Yeah. Imagine that. The thing opens up. Have I changed dramatically? He comes out worse.
Yeah. They go the opposite direction.
He got older.
He's aged. His eyesight has gone bad. He's wearing glasses. Now his hair's falling out.
Ready to take on the Nazis?
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan, personally, of their conduct.
Several stars.
They reach over. He just looks over. Stark's father reaches over and had the lever all the way to the wrong side. I'm sorry. I had it on skinnier. I should have pushed it to muscular.
Several stars, including Frida Pinto, Greta Gerwig, Colin Firth, and Mira Sorvino, expressed regret at working with him previously and pledged to never work with him again. But when the Hollywood Reporter asked Johansson, who worked with him on Match Point, Vicky Cristina Barcelona, and Scoop, she had nothing but good things to say about the 83-year-old, whose daughter, of course, accused him of sexual assault. He's denied all this stuff, but she said, how do I feel about Woody Allen? I love Woody, she told the Hollywood Reporter. I believe him, and I would work with him anytime. She said, I see Woody whenever I can, and I have had a lot of conversations with him about it. I have been very direct with him, and he's been very direct with me. He maintains his innocence, and I believe him.
Well, that's her prerogative to take it that way, and that's okay.
She said, but she also understands why others don't. She said it's hard because it's a time where people are very fired up, and understandably, things needed to be stirred up, and so people have a lot of passion, a lot of strong feelings, and are angry, and rightfully so. It's an intense time.
What a missed opportunity that they could have worked in the Avengers films together. It would have been so great.
I ran into somebody who works in our office, and I'd asked her what she did the night before. Maybe it was over the weekend. She's like, yeah, well, I went to an I Do barbecue, and blah, blah, blah. This is kind of skated over there. I'm like, hang on a second. What's an I Do barbecue? You guys ever heard of that before?
No, but I haven't.
Like an engagement party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
I'm going to vomit.
But only for people in the wedding party.
Right. Okay.
So
It's kind of where they do they ask them to be in the wedding party? Like that's part of the event.
I'm not really sure.
So I've been to like where they invite the bridal party over, and that's you're at a party, and they ask you to be in the bridal party. So
is that what that is?
You're going to a party, and you don't actually know yet until you get
to the party,
right.
And then they say, by the way, you're all going to be in.
Or they ask you, yeah.
Okay.
So do attendees at they don't know until some point in the evening when.
I mean, I think, for my brothers, I knew I was going to be in my brother's wedding, but
Right.
yes, and then they, gave us a bottle of wine, and on the wine, she had put in like a cute little saying asking us to be, it was a custom-made wine label, and then, it was a cute saying asking us to be in the wedding.
I would attend I'd prefer not barbecue.
I actually never liked the idea of an engagement party, and so you can put a cute little name on it, right, and make things rhyme, and I'm not going to like it or dislike it any more or any less.
Well, that's what they do, though. Yeah, that's what whoever they are.
There must be some counselor, commissioner, somebody who puts together with the gender reveal stuff now. That went from 0 to 60.
Now, I'm wondering where this started because there's an article on the knot.com, right, which is a wedding magazine and a wedding website. And so do you think that they wrote the article thinking that this might be a thing, or did they write the article because it already was a thing?
I think probably they can help boost it by reporting on it. Right. All the not readers. But I don't know. Usually, something has to have a little bit of traction before you report on it, right?
So yeah, I would think so. But so you have an engagement party, okay?
Okay.
You have, I guess now, an I do barbecue. You have to have a rehearsal dinner.
The rehearsal dinner is to me, isn't that that's the wedding party gathering,
That's
right?
what I always thought it was.
Well, but not anymore, because now if you have out-of-town guests, if you're going by their rules, you have to invite the out-of-town guests to the rehearsal dinner.
Right.
So, but out-of-town guests who are in the wedding party aren't expected to attend the I do barbecue,
I think the I do barbecue is taking over the engagement party. I don't think you're having an I do barbecue and you're having an engagement party. I think it's sort of one or the other.
Really?
Yeah.
So, but you would only
Because
invite.
an I do barbecue is an engagement party.
Yeah, but you're only inviting the people that will be in your wedding party.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't know if that's the case. I'm just saying that is also, I've been to parties where they only invite the bridal party.
Because let's say you have a big engagement party or your I do barbecue, but you're only inviting some of the people that are there.
Invite people can be in the direct wedding party.
But let's say you have like 50 people there, but you're only inviting like 7 of them to be in your wedding party. That's kind of insulting to the other people that show up.
Not really. That's like saying you have to put every single friend in your bridal party. I think you know who's.
But if you're at a party and you're not part of the list there.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I'll just be waiting over here.
Yeah.
No.
Enjoy your being celebrated by the bride and groom, and I'll just stand over here and have my fruit.
No.
No, I don't think so.
So you have all these parties. What are the ones involved with having a baby? There's a shower.
The
right?
barber bris.
The barber bris.
But listen, like the I do barbecue and the gender reveal, I think are kind of organized so that you don't have to bring a gift. You're not bringing a gift to. Do you know what I'm saying?
Gender reveal?
Yeah, like it's more set up like the barbecue. Like come over for a barbecue. You don't quite know what it is, but whereas an engagement party is. If you show up without a gift, or at least for me, if I showed up without a gift, I would feel awkward.
All right, hang on. I just saw a text that came over. It said Connor Betts, he's an assistant producer here, went to an I Do barbecue. I'd like to know if he brought a gift with him to the I Do barbecue. Because, Kathy, I think I don't think I think you have to bring a gift to an I Do barbecue.
I don't know. Here, Connor's.
All right, we need an explanation,
right now.
clarification, in case I, by some stretch of the imagination, get invited to an I Do barbecue. I want to know what to do.
Connor?
I did not bring a gift.
Okay.
Were you aware that it was an I Do barbecue before you attended?
Yes.
Okay, so that is the premise of the I Do barbecue when it was presented to you that you were coming because you were going to be asked to be a part of this wedding party?
Yes, and I was not a part of the wedding.
All right, did your girlfriend bring a gift?
No.
Okay.
So when you went...
Do you know what I'm saying? Like the gender reveal is to come. We're all finding out together what the baby is going to be. You're not going to bring a gift to that. The baby shower. Yes, that's the point of a baby shower. Your friends, your family, they're bringing gifts so that you can be prepared for when the baby comes.
Connor prefers to be called Moose.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
That's just a nickname from high school.
Oh, I did not know that.
High school into college, and everybody calls me.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I didn't know that. Nice to meet you, Moose.
So Moose, what was it like at the I Do barbecue?
Well, I didn't bring a gift, one, because they are wealthy and
Yes.
I am poor.
Right.
So I think my mom might have brought a gift, but I didn't.
And so who with the cluster that you attended who was asked to be in the bridal party?
It was my friend's brother's engagement party, I guess. So then we were all friends with him. and it was a bunch of my friends, and then I was not asked.
Did they line you up?
I was backup.
Did they line you up in a row and then yes, no? Yes.
Yeah, it's like picking for kickball.
Right, right? No. And then, Connor, you're there with the caterer standing there.
Yeah, it was me and the caterer and the dog.
Right, yeah.
On the side.
These are the ones who will not be in our wedding party. Shame them.
Sorry, Moose.
Why don't you forget the moose for a moment?
But you didn't go to the party expecting to be asked to be in the bridal party, right? Yeah.
Not even a little bit?
No.
it's
With
not-
how
it's
good
not
you
every-
look in a gown?
You don't have every friend you know in your bridal party.
No, but I'm saying this seems oddly. It is like being picked for teams in school.
No.
And you're left out of it.
No.
It's like, why not break up into shirts and skins?
Well, I had never heard the term "I do barbecue" before, but apparently that's another one to add to the list with your gender reveals, your
Right.
sprinkles, your showers, your engagement. 95, 93, whatever it is.
95,
Couple
7,
threes,
whatever.
9 or something.
You know what? So normally we do the connoisseur segment on Friday, but we were quite busy at the Camp Out for Hunger. We didn't get to do that.
It's time for an early week edition of the Connoisseur because we couldn't do it at the Camp Out for Hunger, but there's a lot of food stories.
Well, and sometimes they kind of they time out, and then I lose the story, and then we never get to it.
They, as they say in the food business, go bad.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. By the way, real quick before we do this, so Friday at Camp Out for Hunger, when I came in for the show this morning, I ran into Ray Koob, who was doing overnights, and you know what Ray Koob's favorite part of the whole week was?
What?
Was on Friday, the Froggy performance.
The Froggy.
He's like, man, they were so great. He's like, they were even better. You know, he was just going on. He's like, I love those girls. They were so awesome. So it was great to hear Koob.
Cool's big fan. And we
going
are.
on about Froggy. I thought it was awesome. All right, so I'm going to start this connoisseur segment with 2 words for you: gravy fountain.
Gravy fountain.
Did I have you at gravy fountain?
Yes.
I've had. Okay, so
Isn't that what Cortez was looking for?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Fountain of Youth.
Besides the Fountain of Youth, which may be a gravy fountain for all we know, but you've seen the chocolate fountain, you've seen cheese, the queso fountain.
Mm-hmm.
This is that, but with gravy.
All right, quick question.
Yes.
Are we talking gravy, or are we talking Italian sauce gravy?
Oh, good
Oh
question.
no, we're talking gravy.
Gravy.
We're
All right,
not, we're not talking Italian, pasta sauce. Gravy.
Right,
No, this is for turkey and stuff like that. Mashed potatoes. So
And gravy.
Here's what.
Cranberry sauce.
I got it.
Wait.
Give me a second. I'll find it.
Wait, what is that from?
It's Little Richard. It's
Little
on the
Richard.
commercial.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Cranberry sauce.
Oh, look out! Look out!
Yeah.
Help me! Somebody help me! Mashed potatoes, gravy, and cranberry sauce. Woo!
That's the one. So it's essentially, now I don't know where this came from. This is an article I stumbled across and a suggestion from a columnist that said you just use one of those electric tabletop fountains
Okay.
that you may have encountered at weddings and parties or Golden Corral, and you fill it up with gravy. But you have to be careful. There's a couple things you got to keep in mind.
Yeah, I think there are some issues.
If your gravy recipe contains herbs, mushrooms, or other delicious chunkage, the solids need to be strained out so as not to gum up the works.
I'm going to punch a hole in this then because I think the application of gravy is not suited to a gravy fountain. I think when you're pouring gravy on something, you use. I think a gravy boat is the best tool.
Well,
Correct?
now this is not for pouring things onto your plate. This
Yeah.
is for taking like meatballs or vegetables on skewers
and getting a little gravy,
dipping them
All
underneath.
right,
them.
all right.
I like this idea.
I love chicken gravy so much. I could just eat it by the spoonful.
Wow,
It is-
chicken
You're
gravy.
going to want to use a
gravy.
fork though.
No.
Okay.
A fork would totally defeat the purpose, Steve. But a giant spoon, yeah. I mean, I could eat like rice and chicken gravy as a meal.
Would you bob for meatballs in a bowl of gravy?
Yes.
Think about it.
I probably would. Can I wear goggles?
Wait, yeah, Bob, for meatballs and gravy.
Yeah.
If it is not too hot, I would certainly do that.
All right.
Have a face full of gravy.
I
How
think
about
we
that?
have a stunt for this week.
Maybe.
You just reminded. I just watched The Office last week, and they were doing bobbing for apples, and the one girl was bobbing in there, and they thought she had passed out because her head was in the thing for so long.
Right.
And when they pulled her out, she goes, 4! I ate 4 whole apples.
Oh.
She thought she had to eat the apples while she was in there. Back to you, Preston.
So the suggestions that I saw on in the article, at least the pictures, were taking like a roasted
Roasted.
Jesus. Roasted Brussels sprouts and things like that you could put on a skewer.
I like that.
Dip them under the gravy, right?
Do you like? But let me ask you, as a gravy man, and you're known as the gravy man, and at least in where you live, your town,
gravy man.
Yeah.
The gravy man of Harleysville.
Gravy man. Do you?
I'm tuna lady. You're gravy man.
Do you like a more full-bodied gravy that would have chunks in it?
Yeah, for sure.
Then this is not for you.
Yeah. No, but I don't. I'm not anti this at all. I think. Now we're looking at a picture of somebody
hell,
trying to
that looks
pull
like
this off.
caramel.
It doesn't look like it's working very well.
Well, they don't have enough gravy in there. That's why.
Maybe.
Because you can see in the bottom
or it's too
part.
thick. I don't know.
It looks like a scene from The Reanimator.
So should your gravy preference tend toward the thick end of the spectrum, you may. This may not be that ideal for you.
Yeah, there we go.
But if you're willing to give it a go, you can thin out your gravy with additional liquid, not plain old water, though. You want to heat up some stock, milk, wine, pot liquor, which I don't know what that is, or whatever is flavor appropriate to your recipe.
Pot liquor.
And slowly whisk that into the warm gravy until it drips easily from a spoon. While it's perfectly safe to run the gravy fountain for a few hours, the gravy temperature does hover around 105 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit, a little cooler than is what is considered to be food safety temperature. So keep it flowing for under 2 hours, they recommend.
I think I need to be able to get at least 6 hours out of my gravy fountain.
I am so happy that we did our Camp Out for Hunger a little earlier this year because this weekend I started thinking about Thanksgiving feast. And I'm ready this time around because we're always amping up for Camp Out. So our efforts are usually tuned towards that. I think I'm going to play around between now and Thanksgiving. I'm going to play around with some recipes of things I haven't quite cooked for that feast.
Like what?
I don't know. I'm going to look up some recipes. I'm going to go on Food Network and find some things that maybe I haven't done before because you never, ever, ever want to try a recipe you've never done before, you've never made before for a gathering.
That's what I'll be doing all day on Thanksgiving.
You don't want to do that.
I'm cooking Thanksgiving dinner for the first time in my entire existence.
For the whole family?
For the whole family.
Really?
Yeah.
Everything?
You have time between now and then to maybe do a couple practice runs, a little R&D, man.
So what I found out over the weekend is that my wife actually doesn't like she hates
me.
She loves me. She just doesn't like me.
Okay.
But she also doesn't like turkey, the stuffing that's made in the turkey.
Okay.
And that's what I prefer. So now I have
All
to
right.
make two different stuffings.
All right, not uncommon.
No.
The stovetop stuff is stupid easy.
Yeah.
It's real easy. You'll be all right making two versions.
Like you, Preston, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, and I can't wait for it this year. I'm also glad that we've finished Camp Out already, and for the first time in more than 2 years, my entire family's getting together for Thanksgiving this year.
Wow.
So brothers, my parents, significant others, and I can't wait for it. And just to be able to sit down.
Are you
in the
making
same room.
anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna make some stuff too, and my mom's like the head chef on most things, but it's not at her house. So she sort of has to default to my sister-in-law because it's her home.
Okay.
Oh, you guys are going to Virginia?
We're going to Virginia. Yeah,
Nice.
we're going to drive down 81, which is the worst road on the planet.
By the way, if anybody has any interesting suggestions for recipes, send them over.
Yeah.
You could
an
have a
idea.
connoisseur
You can email me.
endorsed Thanksgiving
Yeah.
recipe.
Maybe.
And if you have any really easy recipes that take almost no effort, send those to me.
5 ingredients or less to Kathy.
Kathy,
like-
that could be packed easily in like a freeze-dried container and mailed to you completed.
I mean, that would be
That would
fine
be
too.
awesome.
I'm like-
DoorDash.com, Kathy.
And listen, I'm at maybe 30 minutes, at the most. If it takes longer than that, I'm out.
Okay, Maris?
We had our Friendsgiving over the weekend. Because it was just the only weekend all of our friends could get together. If anyone would like a recipe for Jell-O shot Thanksgiving dinners, I got you.
Oh, that's
That
like
sounds
30 minutes or less.
gnarly.
It had celery in it, celery
ew.
juice, a little turkey gravy, some
This
mashed
is
potato.
fun.
This is
Kathy, I want you to try
I
my
want to vomit.
my cranberry sauce.
Cranberries. I tasted it.
It was good.
And
Yeah,
it's
she does
so
great cranberry
easy
sauce.
to make.
Oh, okay, maybe I'll do that.
I'm gonna send you the recipe.
All right.
Because it looks fancy, but it's not hard to make.
Okay.
First get cranberries, second get a wood chipper.
All right, what else we have? How about... All right, let's go with a record breaker.
Oh.
This story, I almost put it in the bizarre file last week, but I didn't get a chance to do that. Colin and Donna Craig Brown were weeding their garden in New Zealand when Colin's hose struck something huge just beneath the soil. The couple knelt down, dug around the object. Colin wondered whether it was some kind of strange fungal growth. It was a giant puffball. After he pried it out with his garden fork, he scratched away a bit of the skin and tasted it, and it was a potato, and it is potentially the largest potato in the world.
Do you, when you find something in the dirt in your yard, is your first inclination to taste it?
No.
Okay.
This was their garden.
Oh.
This is their garden. So when the couple lugged it to their garage, they put it on their set of scales, and it weighed in at 17.4 pounds.
17-pound potato.
That is equal to a couple of sacks of regular potatoes or a small dog.
Wow, it looks like an aborted baboon.
Well, it's a really strange. It's an odd shape.
Kind of actually, Steve, if
You see a little lion in there, don't you?
If the walrus were the
thinker.
the thinker,
Right.
Yes.
You know, you make a good point,
Rodan.
Casey.
Yeah.
I agree.
So what are the traditional ways to cook potatoes, Casey? Do you know?
I think you can French fry them.
But you can boil them.
You can boil them. You can mash them. I mean,
Yeah.
you can stick them in a stew. I
Yeah.
didn't understand what you were
That's
talking about.
what he was going for.
Yes.
I got it.
But you can French fry them. You can julienne them.
Imagine if Samwise had suggested you. Well, you can julienne cut them. You can French fry.
So what is French fry?
I got to
Au
find
gratin, what does that mean?
Not the dialogue you expect.
What? What is it?
Middle Earth.
Au gratin?
In the weeks.
Hash browns?
In the weeks. And this is in New Zealand, by the way, where they filmed The Hobbit.
Potatoes.
Yeah.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
In the weeks since the unusual find on August 30th, the couple's potato has become something of a celebrity around their small farm near Hamilton, and they've named the potato Doug, by the way.
Wow.
Which is how they unearthed it. They dug it up, yeah.
It looks like, so what's the guy's name?
His name is Colin.
Okay.
Colin
Looks like he's
even-
had sex with this thing.
Even built a small cart to tow Doug around on.
He's my potato call.
Yeah, that's what he made, apparently. So 17.4 pounds.
Doug, you need to talk to someone.
Could be the largest potato in the world. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, it is a weird thing. I told you that out of nowhere we had a pumpkin growing in our garden.
Yeah.
And sometimes those little, like a fully formed pumpkin,
Yeah.
a big mother.
I always leave my pumpkins out and let them rot and
The
hope
seeds
that
will
it,
go. Yes,
that it grows.
I
It
think
never
that's what
does.
happened, Kathy.
You have to have, if you had fertile soil, it probably would, you know. It's
Our
got to
s-
get right into the soil.
We have terrible soil. Our whole
Yeah.
entire neighborhood, it's like clay. It's disgusting.
We're the opposite. Our soil is like we had a flower garden, laid out because our garden is in the sun the whole day, and the woman came back who's helping to maintain it, and she said, "I've never seen a garden grow this fast."
Wow.
But it is, it all depends. You're right, Preston. It depends on the soil.
Yeah. All right, I have one more connoisseur story here. It's about mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. We were just having a loving conversation about mac and cheese.
Who was having a conversation?
We were talking about, and I said that I actually prefer when it is burnt, when it is a little bit
Oh,
overcooked.
yeah. So there's some standard ingredients. Of course, there's pasta, there's milk, there's cheddar. But how about raisins?
Nick?
You like raisins?
No, I'm out.
No? All right,
No?
viral TikTok recipe. TikToker Texas Kitchen 1 has reached over 7.7 million views on a 34-second video of mac and cheese that she made for her husband. Atop the cheese, she sprinkled on some raisins.
Oh, I saw this video.
Which has resulted in
Those were raisins?
some pretty strong reactions across TikTok.
I thought, I swear to God, I saw this video and I didn't listen to the sound. I thought it was chocolate chips.
No.
Okay.
There were raisins. And so the chef's hundreds of other videos have accumulated over 1.7 million followers on TikTok and over 150,000 followers on Instagram. So she's still winning in the cooking community of social media. But the raisins are contentious. Comments on her video include, "You lost me at raisins. I had a smile on my face until the raisins came in." And one commenter approved of the ingredient, or hardly one commenter approved of the ingredient. Then there was Twitter, where the video has also been trending for a hot minute as well.
It's got raisins in it. You like raisins.
To be fair, this isn't the first time such a recipe has caused internet debate. Last year, Drake's 34th birthday menu went viral after it included mac and cheese with sun-dried tomatoes, capers, parsley, and raisins in it. No. I don't-
Capers and raisins?
I'm not.
Yeah.
My knee-jerk reaction is not horror. I just want to see how it would blend. Things that I was sure I would not like, I have liked.
This gave me like PTSD when I was a kid and I was in grade school, and the lunch was always questionable. This is when we lived in South Carolina for a handful of years, and at Pinecrest Elementary School, they would serve things like lima beans and other disgusting things that you didn't want to eat. But
Stuff they could get in bulk.
They had this salad that was essentially it was shredded carrots and raisins, and I don't know what some kind of dressing that held it together, like mayonnaise or something like that.
Glue.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, that is something.
Oh,
Dressing that held it together.
it was repulsive, and
Was it sweet?
I wouldn't even try. You know, I tried tasting a little bit of it, and it was so foreign to me, and it looked wrong.
Whose recipe
it
was
tasted
it?
wrong. As the lunch lady.
mustachioed lunch woman?
There's a picture of one right there.
Yeah.
There's several recipes for carrot raisin salad on the interwebs.
I feel
was
like it's
not familiar with that.
I feel like it's sweet. It's a sweet salad.
I actually have really negative thoughts. It just like if I were to speak to a therapist about it, like that would, that goes back to a negative thought from my
Preston,
grade school
One day
days.
you'll happen by like a payphone, it'll ring, you'll pick it up.
The carrot salad's waiting for you, Preston.
And your Manchurian candidate switch gets flicked.
I'll bet you there's some repressed memory that I have,
right?
That has something to do with that, and I can't quite put my finger on it about why that makes me feel so uncomfortable. When
Are
I
you a
think
fan of
about
carrot
that.
cake?
I love it.
Oh my God.
I love carrot cake.
And I love carrots. I love roasted carrots. I love carrots with all kinds of stuff.
You can boil them. You can mash them.
You can stick them in a stew, for Christ's sake. But you know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll go back and let's see what's in this recipe, Nick. All right,
A lot
4
of
cups,
sugar.
shredded carrots,
Pound of sugar.
half cup of raisins, 1/4 cup of mayonnaise.
Boo. No, I like mayo.
2 tablespoons of sugar and 2 to 3 tablespoons of 2% milk. Now, listen, I've had sweet mayonnaise in mayonnaise in recipes before. We have this this thing called 7-layer salad, and one of the
white stripe sauce.
One of the ingredients is mayonnaise that has been mixed with sugar, and that actually tastes pretty good.
I told
Maybe
you
I need to take this out first.
my mother, as a Southern cook, would make my favorite mashed potatoes of all time. I've never had them as good as the way my mother used to make them, but she would put a little bit of mayonnaise in the mashed potatoes to whip them up nicely.
Creaminess to it. But hang on a second. Let me go to Nick. Hi, Nick. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, Nick?
Hey, they actually sell that salad at Chick-fil-A.
They sell it at Chick-fil-A. And that's a Southern-based restaurant. So
yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
and I think that's out of Georgia, maybe.
I don't know where it came. My grandmother used to make it. I used to like it when she made it.
Really?
The Chick-fil-A one, it's not as good.
Not as good as Grandma, as Gum
Not
Gum.
as good as Grandma, but
thanks.
Grandma.
All right, thanks, Nick. Appreciate it.
It's weird, yeah. All right.
All right.
Stuff you would not think would jibe together well, but look at this.
You know what? Maybe it's something I need to come to terms with.
To me, the raisin thing was always part of ambrosia, right? You know,
Is there raisin in ambrosia?
Yeah, the way I'd have ambrosia, my neighbor would always make it. That was my first introduction. There were raisins in it.
Ambrosia is pineapple.
Yeah.
And
Coconut.
I always dug that. Oh, yeah, you probably didn't like it because of coconut, right? Coconut. That and Watergate salad. I like Watergate salad.
Does that have raisins in it?
You like raisins?
I think so.
Raisins in it.
think-
You like raisins.
I think Watergate salad has raisins in it.
I like Watergate salad.
All right, hang on a second. Let me go to Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, Michelle?
I shared the food trauma with you from that carrot salad. It was so disgusting. As soon as my mom said peel the carrots, I knew it was disgusting.
But
raisins.
Did
and
other
carrots.
people in the household like it?
No, just my mom.
Nobody.
Peel the carrots.
Yeah.
The command goes, Michelle,
Yeah.
peel the carrots.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm wondering if there are other little. By the way, Daniel Roebuck, will we be able to talk to him, or do we need to break before we talk to him? What do you think?
Peel the carrots.
I don't know.
I'm wondering if there
we probably should just continue.
should continue.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if there are other food traumas. There was another one that I had, as a kid, and I think I've talked about this before. I was over at a friend's house, and I was in grade school. I was in like kindergarten or first grade or something
You
like that.
like raisins.
And I've told this story before. His mom was going to make us lunch, and she had asked him if he wanted a particular kind of sandwich.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'll have that too. And I shouldn't have had that.
You didn't know what you were getting into.
I normally, like a normal human being, would have peanut butter and jelly.
Right. What did she have?
Cream cheese and jelly.
Now,
And
really?
now, at this age, I might like that.
Yes. Yeah.
I might not on a
as a kid.
sandwich.
I don't think
but
it's-
maybe on like a cracker or something
or
like
how
that.
about a bagel?
But yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. But I remember taking a bite of that and going, "It's not peanut butter and jelly."
Oh, no.
And she
Your
could see
your mother's a horse.
She could see on my face. She was like, "Do you want me to make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?" I was like, "Yeah, please." But that kind of threw me off a little bit.
me to take my top off?
Wow.
That didn't happen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I would.
You're a big boy.
It was an incredible memory. That all began with jelly and cottage cheese. Or was it cream cheese?
Cream cheese.
Yeah.
Cream cheese and jelly.
Ooh, cottage cheese and jelly sandwich would be good too.
Not on a sandwich.
Are you sure?
You know, they do serve those that you can. I used to eat these for a little while. It was cream cheese and then either like some blueberry or strawberry or pineapple, and you put it over in there and mix it together, and it's decent that way. But not a sandwich. What are you, an animal?
Well, we're gonna have to try it out.
Okay.
Just to see if it tastes
We
all
are?
right.
Okay.
I will.
All right. Well, anyhow, so raisins in mac and cheese, that would give me some sort of, that would mess with
Do you know what?
I say no dice on
I
that.
have not found a place that makes the mac and cheese that, consistently. Yeah, Harvest has really good mac and cheese, and it's a little bit more overcooked, which
Yeah.
is what I like. Or at least to my taste,
Yeah.
it's the way I like it.
You really should go across the street to Corner Bakery and,
very
and do
good?
their mac and cheese.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
It's really, really good.
So
to
you're
have-
for a baked mac and cheese.
I think I'm up for a baked mac and
Yeah,
cheese.
because otherwise, it doesn't get overcooked because you're just stirring all those ingredients in already cooked pasta.
I want like even with lasagna or ziti, I like it, crisp and, along the edges and a little bit burned. I love it.
Baked pasta.
Hey, so speaking of sweetness, where it's not supposed to be sweet, I had a hot dog at the Eagles game yesterday, and it was sweet, and I don't know if it was supposed to be or not. And I
The
actually
hot dog itself was?
the hot dog
added
itself.
a little something to this one too.
You're gonna like this.
Yeah.
You got a bit of me in that.
I had
It's like a devil dog.
It was cooked to perfection as far as the crispiness and all of that stuff. I took a couple of bites and I was like, I almost threw it away because I was like, this isn't.
Well,
Did you have relish on it?
No.
May
no,
I ask a
just-
couple of questions?
Yes. Let's
Was
go.
it indeed a hot dog?
It was a hot dog.
Okay, so it definitely wasn't some type of sausage.
It was not a candy cane.
All right, Marissa, I think you had a question.
Casey, I can't talk about the hot dogs, but I can tell you the soft pretzels are sweet in the stadium. I usually do those, so I wonder if it's the bread.
Was it on pretzel bread, you said, Case?
No, it was on like a potato roll.
But I wonder if it's whoever's producing both of those things.
Do you know where you got it? Was it just at a standard?
Yeah, just standard outside of it was a Dietz and Watson hot dog, I believe.
Dietz and Watson hot dog. Well, they make a few different kinds.
But I'm
freaking out.
Well, I've gotten hot dogs from there before, and it has never been.
Why does this taste sweet? Wouldn't you like to know sweet lips?
I just I was like, I'm not digging on this right now.
Okay.
But I powered through it, guys.
You made it.
I made it through the entire hot dog.
So you didn't like it?
I didn't.
Or it was too much of a surprise to your taste buds?
By the
where you're
third
like,
one,
this
he
doesn't seem
realized,
right.
I'm not liking it.
Yeah, I was like, let me try a second one. I'm like, not so sure. The third one, I was like, nope.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let me just
definitely
finish this
don't
last bite.
No, but I finished it. It just seemed a leg off to me, and I just wasn't sure if there was if it was my taste buds that were off or what.
I hear you.
Somebody says, hey, I'll bring you guys hot dogs from a place called Harry's Hot Dogs in Sadsburyville, and if you don't love it, I'll eat them. They're all sweet.
Oh, so maybe this is a thing. Perhaps
so-
this is the wave of the future.
Well, I don't really know.
By the way,
future.
Daniel Roebuck is on Zoom.
He is?
Yeah, so
Oh,
we should
all
dial
right.
him
Okay,
in.
it's 9 o'clock, so we
Yeah.
should be looking for that now. All right, then I'll add this one more connoisseur thing while Casey's getting that together.
I bet you Daniel Roebuck knows a lot about
I don't think this is a good idea. So brushing your teeth and then drinking orange juice.
Yes,
That's
horrible.
always nasty, right?
Horrible.
Or coffee. It's disgusting.
Now, orange juice brand Tropicana has announced that it came out earlier this week. They have introduced a limited edition Tropicana toothpaste. A brand representative says the toothpaste was specifically designed to protect the delicious taste of orange juice.
So one could go right from having brushed their teeth to drinking orange juice and not have that snap back.
I think that's apparently the
All right.
the whole idea behind
Could you
this.
just use orange juice instead of toothpaste?
But for brushing your teeth?
Yeah.
Not that I know of. There's a lot of acid in orange juice.
It's true.
It might
It's true.
take part of the layer of your enamel off. I'm not really sure. But I have no idea. I haven't seen any reviews. I don't know what anybody thinks about this whole thing, but apparently that is available now. If that's been a thing for you, you love orange juice with your breakfast, but you've just brushed your teeth and you don't want to try it.
They should do bacon toothpaste then as well. Do everything, right?
I guess so. But not everything tastes terrible right
No.
after you brush your teeth.
No.
But orange juice has some kind of a
Citrusy
thing to it.
yeah.
All right, that's all I have time for in the connoisseur. So thank you very much. And listen, we'll probably do it again on Friday. Those were just some stories from
connoisseur stories.
from last week, and I didn't want those to go to waste.
No, there's a time-sensitive issue here.
All right, our guest is ready to go, right?
Yes, sir.
We were excited to find out that he is going to be a part of this. Number one, we love the Munsters.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Number two, we love this guy. And the fact that he is playing Grandpa Munsters in the new Munsters movie is exciting to us. Please welcome actor Daniel Roebuck to the show. Good morning, Daniel.
Oh, he's the
no,
audio.
Hang on. Let's try it again.
My bad.
Good morning, Daniel.
Hey!
Good morning.
Hey! There we go.
May I be before you get to me, can I get to you?
Yes.
Congratulations on your induction into that Hall of Fame.
Thanks,
Oh,
man.
Thank you.
It's a huge, huge honor. We don't know exactly how it happened, but we'll take it, man.
Well, listen, that's a real honor. It's not like the Academy Awards now. Where, they're actually giving you guys an honor for the work you're doing.
Well, we appreciate it. It was very cool. It's very cool.
Hey, so, all right. So when did you know you were going to be playing Grandpa? This is obviously this has been underway for a little while, but when did you find out about this gig, man?
Well, guys, you'll never believe it. I found out about it July 19th, 2019.
No kidding.
To think about how long ago that is compared to everything that our world experienced since then.
I'll tell you this, Daniel. Listen, I'm a massive Munsters fan, and I watch. If I just want to to pep myself up a bit, I'll watch some episodes. And funny, for a show that was 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
They used to do, though, and it shows you what they used to do as far as television production, like 35, 36 episodes a season. And, I mean, that's why the show is so great. And then to know that you got it, and that, I mean, because, again, I've said that Herman Munster and Grandpa, one of the greatest comedy pairings of all time, Fred Gwynne and Al Lewis, had incredible chemistry that has been overlooked far too long. I put it to you, Daniel. Do you agree?
No, I agree 100%. And thank God Rob Zombie's smart enough to have not hired me to be Al Lewis. He hired me to be Grandpa Munster.
Right.
Because, there's no way going into those. That's a big tape to fill.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But Jeff and Sherry and I all knew that, this was the same and different. The truth is, I can't say almost really anything about the movie except it's an ongoing production.
Well, what I can say to what you're saying is that the road to folly would be to try to replicate and imitate. You would have to make it a bit your own to make it really work.
Well, the difference, I mean, Al and I, we're not from dissimilar places.
Yeah.
We're dissimilar backgrounds. My voice has that East Coast feel already.
Right.
Look, I knew him tangentially. I had met him a number of times. Very much like he and his wife Karen wrote a great book called "I Married a Munster: My Life with Grandpa." I think it's called. It's terrific. People can get it on Amazon. And she's kind of from the same area that I'm from. You know, she had relatives who lived in Allentown.
Huh.
So, you know, we always had something to talk about. But I'm smart enough to know that, you know, Al's placement as Grandpa, like when Kevin Burns did his documentary, it was called Al Lewis Forever Grandpa, right? So he's forever Grandpa.
He's forever Grandpa. Yeah, you know.
I played a lot of parts. His main memory will be Grandpa, and there's no way that I would ever try to besmirch that legacy. I don't know how else to say it because I'm a fan.
Yeah, well, you're in good hands because Rob Zombie is literally a Munsters savant. I mean, he knows his trivia, micro trivia, and then 9 levels of trivia below that. So he is. I mean, he's the way we are, and then some. So, in his hands now, I assume some things are going to be recognized. But I know you can't talk a lot, but you guys were sitting in chairs in the still that we saw released in your makeup, and you looked like you were in front of 1313 Mockingbird Lane. It looked very similar to the show. So we'll see some things, obviously, that center us. Correct?
Oh yes, and his attention to detail. Look, as a filmmaker. I say this about Mr. Zombie. He prefers
Mr. Zombie.
That's because when I met him the very first time, my friend John Gilbert, we were buying monster models at this place called Pitcraft in the Valley here in LA. And, you know, this guy walks in with the hair and the beard, and my friend John Gilbert goes, "Hello, Mr. Zombie. It's a pleasure to meet you." And I said, "What the heck did you call this guy?" That's where I met Mr. Zombie.
There you go.
And by the way, so I'm sorry to interrupt, Daniel, but collecting monster memorabilia and so on has been a thing for you for a while, right?
Yeah, and unfortunately, my dear sweet friend, I loved him, who was the guy who knew Munsters just a little more than anybody else. Kevin Burns passed away, and his auction was last Friday.
Oh, you're holding it up. We're taking a look at it. It's great. Did you ever get to meet Forrest J. Ackerman, who did?
Many times. Yes,
as did I. He did Famous Monsters of Filmland magazine, which was the Bible for anybody who was into monsters the way you and I were, and all the up and coming Stephen King, everybody, they all loved Famous Monsters of Filmland.
Yeah, that's how you do. You're like, oh yeah, other great filmmakers, Stephen King.
Yeah.
You know, Steven Spielberg, John
Carpenter.
Dante,
Yeah.
John Landis, myself. You know, that's how you put yourself in.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in that group. But yeah, to us you are. But yeah.
Yourself. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it, and I've been collecting my whole life. And so, you know, I've been on a little bit of let's say a toot. You know, your listeners may remember I don't do drugs and I don't drink. And, you know, I didn't buy any cocaine, but I bought Captain Action toys. And the good news is, you know, when I wanted to, you know, change my life around, you know, all those people bought cocaine. Now they have Alzheimer's, but I could sell some of my toys and buy a new house.
No, and let me tell you something. After a while, and I you know, if you have someone in your life who accommodates your thing, I have a lot of these figures. I have a lot of this stuff in a tactile way. It connects me through the things that I've loved throughout my life. And you know it. You know when you see something like that in miniature or 6 scale of say, you know, the creature from the Black Lagoon or whatever, and you're like, oh my God, it just rocks your world.
When we get when the movie's coming out, we should do a little tour of my mini museum.
Oh, I'd love it.
You know, and I can take you guys around to see the stuff. I'm the same way, and I think any collector, really, what you're trying to recapture is your youth. The reason, you know, diverting just for a second, I changed my collecting habits were now 11 years ago. My son was playing his flag football game, and I was leaving, and my wife at the time said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "These people are coming in, I don't know where, from Tennessee to see the toy collection." And she was like, "Oh, okay." So I'm driving home, and I start, like, it occurs to me, the epiphany of epiphanies. douche father am I? I'm leaving my own son's 13th year so I could go celebrate my 13th year.
Right.
It really was an epiphany. And that was the first time I started, because the collection was so big. But the other thing that's happened, a lot of changes in my life since then, the role of Mrs. Roebuck was recast as Tammy Roebuck.
I like that.
Like the role of Mrs. Roebuck for 6 years almost. But, I would have had any of the time to make any of these movies. And I don't mean the Munsters. I mean Getting Grace, Lucky Louie, The Hail Mary. Because the collection took so much energy to be online and talking about it and sharing pictures of it. And the minute I removed that kind of obligation, my life, I realized I had hours every day that I could spend writing movies.
Yes. So it opened up.
Daniel, I wanted to ask about going back to the monsters in the film and that family dynamic. And I'm trying to remember, was Grandpa Lily's dad or
Lily's dad?
Lily's dad. Okay, so because Herman was kind of the bungling son-in-law.
Son-in-law.
All right, and so like Steve was saying, their relationship, those two, that back and forth, and Herman, come here, you dummy.
You big dummy.
Are you guys sticking with that? What can you tell us about that family dynamic?
So, thank you for asking. What I'd just like to, I'd like to, my attorneys had suggested I plead the fifth. Let's just say Mr. Zombie has his finger on the pulse of what it should be.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Good.
Daniel, you mentioned the Radio Hall of Fame at the beginning of this conversation, and we were lucky enough to spend a few days in Chicago out there for the ceremony. And
that's what it was. Oh,
yep.
Yeah, it was in Chicago, and that city reminds me of a few of my favorite movies of all time: The Dark Knight, Blues Brothers, and The Fugitive. Yep. And your voice is in my head when I'm walking around Chicago as I hear the word hinky and I hear your dialogue with Tommy Lee Jones. What are your memories of filming in that city and in that scene in particular?
Well, I think Chicago is one of the greatest cities in our amazing country. I know everybody defers to New York and San Francisco as like the Mr. Know-it-alls, but Chicago, that's where the real people are, man. And please don't. Philadelphia, Chicago's just it's a few things. It's a beautiful city. It's a diverse city and has always been celebrated. It didn't have to be told to celebrate diversity.
Yeah.
Just like Philadelphia. No one had to tell Philadelphia. That's what, I don't understand lately. Everyone's like, we've been doing it. Pennsylvanians, what do we care? We're all kinds of people. So Chicago and the greatest museums, although, of course, yes, Philadelphia, New York.
It's okay.
Like you got to, look, when I'm in the Lehigh Valley, there's three hot dog places. There's Pete's, Patsy's, and Yakko's. And I make sure that I love all three of them because people always try to get you to say, who do you like best? It's just like your steaks. Right. And I won't say it. I say Pete's, Patsy's, Yakko's. I always say it, all three at the same time. But yeah, Chicago's great. Tommy Lee Jones, great. The thing about Tommy Lee Jones was, if I could make a connection, he was like Fred Gwynn, because I got to do a movie with Fred. We did Disorganized Crime. Fred definitely, that I can say was my friend because of that experience.
That's cool.
We spent months together. But the thing about Tommy Lee Jones and Fred Gwynn is they were both like massive geniuses. So imagine you're Tommy or Fred and you're the smartest guy in any room you're standing in.
Yeah. He
dealt with it in different ways. Tommy was a little more wry. Well, Fred was very wry, I guess you could say. But Fred made more jokes and Tommy made more platitudinous conversations that were, platitudinous sounds like negative, but you always learned something.
Well, you talk about Fred Gwynn and the fact that he was as accomplished and as smart as he was, and yet, he whole hog threw himself. I was watching the episode the other day, and you guys will know this, where Herman goes down and is tinkering around in Grandpa's lab, and he stands up between the two, Transformers, and then it turns him into a regular guy. It's Fred Gwynn sans makeup. And you see him doing all of the Herman things in his regular face that he's doing to sell the makeup, and you realize how much goes in to that performance. And people go, you guys are idiots talking about Herman Munster this way. But it's the truth. It was really, really brilliant.
No, both those guys knew, look, working within a prosthetic or any kind of makeup it's different. You know who was great at it? I'm going to say that you guys are going to go, of course. Roddy McDowell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Think of Roddy McDowell underneath the ape.
Yep.
And think of the genius of how Tim Hunter, Maurice Evans, and then everyone who did it after them. How they knew that they had to act through the makeup. When you watch that episode, isn't that funny? What are your favorite episodes? That episode, Zombo, the one with Uncle Gilbert, all the great episodes that we were like, oh, it's Zombo this time. We just love that stuff.
Yeah.
But when, they would, the Munsters, I think, rehearsed for 2 days, shot for 3.
Wow.
So imagine them walking around with their scripts, rehearsing the scenes. And then that's what, they would just all been walking around like themselves.
Right.
Wow. Oh, we were so delighted to hear that you were going to be in this role. We got to wrap, Daniel, though. But any idea when we might see this? Maybe Halloween next year or something like that?
No, unfortunately, I personally have no idea.
Okay.
I'm just, I'm holding on to Mr. Zombie's coattail.
Gotcha. Mr. Zombie.
To do so until we both drop dead.
Well, hopefully, when you're around promoting, you do a little touring to promote and can come into the studio. We'd love to see you.
It would be a blessing. And can we please remind viewers, if we could, as we wrap up, if they want to know more about our faith-filled family entertainment, they could go to achannelofpeace.org.
Excellent.
Very cool.
We'll send that out. Thank you,
We're
Daniel.
always looking for help.
Awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
Awesome
Have
to
a
talk
great
to you
day.
again, and good luck with everything. Daniel Roebuck, guys. And he is Grandpa Munster in the Rob Zombie directed Munsters movie.
If you remember Zombo, the episode, Louis Nye plays this horror host, and Eddie thinks he's the real deal and is like totally into Zombo, which makes Herman jealous.
Yep.
And then
he goes to the studio
and finds out he's
it's all fake
and just starts going nuts on the set.
I love
Hilarious,
that episode. All right, let us take a break and return shortly. And you know what? When we get back, I'll reiterate the details about an announcement we made earlier. The Preston and Steve Christmas Miracle returns. We'll be back with that. Stay with us.
Showers,
Butterscotch Bandits,
Sure.
and that's
Overcomers.
That's, guys, you're combining things that
It's
don't.
disgusting.
It's not.
Yeah, Overcomer was a movie.
We're here for the Hot Carl party.
What were you going to say, guys?
I just don't make your wedding more special than it really is.
Yeah.
Or do it since it's your wedding.
Yeah.
Don't make it more special than it really is.
Because it might end up in a murder-suicide,
Wow.
You're not special. This day isn't special.
It might end up in
They had an I do barbecue, and now he's dead.
Congratulations. It might end up in a murder-suicide.
I'm Keith Morrison. It started with an I do barbecue and ended with where'd you bury the body?
I love it. Pierre is in the studio, about ready to take over for the day.
It's a miracle.
It is a miracle.
It is a
isn't it?
miracle.
Every day's a miracle.
Every day's a miracle. Rodney brought me coffee this morning.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Rodney's the man.
If Rodney isn't the greatest already, he, on his way in, found some wonderful coffee for me and brought it in.
I have a Superman statue that I'm going to give Rodney. There's one statue that has not ported over to my office. So I said, if anybody around here deserves the Superman statue, it's Rodney.
I would agree.
Yeah.
You need more figurines and statues, though.
I have space now, and they will be coming. They're ordered and on their way. In fact, one should be arriving at the house today.
Yeah. Claire, God bless her.
She really is a saint.
She is a saint.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she said, no more in this house. Send them to the office.
Absolutely. Work it is.
Are there pictures of the assortment?
Yeah, in the house. But there's still room in the house.
No, I mean up online, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so that people can see how many Batman, Superman, other figurines you have.
Just go to our Instagram page.
Yeah. We posted yesterday. There's more on the way.
Yeah, so this is just beginning, but mostly featuring Batman and Iron Man.
Right. Okay.
Right now, I have to decorate properly.
Now, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. It's a miracle.
There you go. There's a picture of it in the studio right now.
Oh, this is the new office.
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah.
Yep. We just moved in the other
So
day.
there's huge spaces where people would put books and tapes and various recording instruments, but Steve has used they're 5 feet high statues.
Yeah.
And
They're not 5 feet high.
All right, they're 4.5 feet high.
4.5 feet. Yeah.
And the Iron Man, catch a giant Iron Man head.
That's a 1-to-1 scale Iron Man head.
Wow.
I'm so glad I listen. It looks good. You've organized it so nicely. I am proud of you. But I'm glad there's a buffer between me and you.
Oh yeah, that buffer is Nick.
It's Nick.
Yeah.
I've started to straighten up my area.
You have. It's
and
looking
my collections are coming
better.
too. So I have display area finally. So I'm
Nice.
going to put some of my
Swords.
stuff up.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm going to do the swords.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
we'll
we
see.
threw the swords out.
No, I have a couple of swords. There's one like the Philadelphia Pipe and Drums brought us this really cool. It's engraved and
awesome.
everything. So that's for the show. I need to find somewhere for that. But I have other collections that I'm going to bring and display.
Are we
Look
going
up
to do that
top,
thing that we were talking about? That one idea where we were floating
We got to
around?
do that. Yeah, we'll hopefully get to that soon.
Okay.
That's an idea, and we'll get to it.
Yeah. We're not going to reveal what
No,
it
I
is.
understand.
We're going to put a chopping board in the middle of the room and hang our pots and pans from the ceiling.
No, that's Kathy's sections, along with the doilies and the Martha Stewart tribute area.
You know what? I've always wanted that. I've never had a setup where I can hang my pots and pans from like a ceiling setup.
I like that look. My wife doesn't like it, so we didn't get it.
Here's why I do like it. It looks great. But you can't use the pots because once there's a stain and you hang it up, now it looks ridiculous.
Shut up.
I'm just saying that's when
Once
it
there's
doesn't look
a
good.
stain,
That's why
that shows that that's a working kitchen.
Which is
There
fine.
would
but
never
then
be a stain if it was me because they'd never be used.
Me neither.
It would
That's
look
why I always
lovely.
wanted it.
It would work in your house.
Yeah.
See, that's why we should live together.
That's why we are married but stay apart.
Right. Forever.
I mean, you can't have sex all the time.
Well, exactly.
No, it's the perfect marriage. We don't live together and we don't have to have sex.
Yeah, you just love each other and then leave it at that.
We just love each other, and that's all
Kathy,
there is to it.
had she not met Dennis, she would have been married to a prisoner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It'd be the perfect thing. What are you in for murder? Love it.
Right each other.
Yeah.
I didn't give away whatever it was I had yesterday.
You didn't?
So whatever that is.
It was a turkey.
It was a turkey.
We'll give it away today.
It was and pounds of steak.
And
so,
pounds of steak.
Yeah, not just a pound, several pounds. of steak.
I would like 7 pounds of steak.
7 pounds of steak. You got it, Buster. Step right up to Pierre's Butcher Shop. I got all the blood you need.
You should get for Halloween one year. You should go as a butcher, like with blood splattered, apron and everything. That'd be perfect.
A vegetarian butcher with all the zucchinis hanging from
Yes, and mangled tofu hanging from my locks.
mangled tofu hanging from your locks.
Mangled tofu would be like dreadlocks, but tofu locks.
Yeah,
I like it.
All right,
Actually, I
we're cooking
don't,
with
but
gas
anyway.
now, mustard.
Oh my God.
Please welcome the one and only Mr. John Travolta to our studio. Good morning, John.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Nice to see you.
You sound good.
Thank you. I feel good. I feel very good. You know what? As I was introducing you, and I said, "Welcome to Philadelphia." You shot a film here in Philadelphia.
I did. I shot Blowout.
Yeah,
which is a Brian De Palma great movie.
Yeah, thank you. I agree.
So this movie, we want to talk about The Fanatic, which is I started watching it. I wanted to go into it cold, and it's a big departure for the kind of roles that you play.
Mm-hmm.
It's a horror suspense, but it also takes a peek inside the world of TMZ and fandom run Fanatical. And your character is very unique. And from what I understand, the character was written with you in mind. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was. Fred Durst from the Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
He wrote it, and he directed it. And I will say that he is quite inspired as a director and as an actor even.
Right.
And he helped quite a bit. He would improvise with me prior to the takes, and he designed this character, and I understood it because I am a fan. I'm a fan as much as we all are. And I think if you don't understand that, whether it's sports or whether it's the arts or icons or whomever you admire, you can't do this kind of role.
It's funny because John, because I collect things. I have I'm a massive movie fan. I'm a huge fan of yours as well. And there's something that, and it's your character exemplifies in the movies. Just to be able to get the tactile sensation of touching something that a celebrity or you know, there's this bizarre thing. I remember it's odd, as I was watching the movie, I was thinking the story that Gene Siskel of Siskel and Ebert, it was very important for him to own the white suit that you wore on Saturday night.
Correct.
And he owned that. It was like a holy grail for him.
Yes,
so
and
you
then
could
Jane Fonda bought it.
Right. So
you're completely correct. You know, but this particular guy, this character I play, is he's a man-child. He is maybe a little bit on the spectrum, which explains his irrational behavior. However, that being said, he's picked on and bullied at work, and everyone bullies him. But he's so used to it that he handles it. But when his favorite person in the world bullies him, this movie star, he doesn't know how to handle it. He gets confused. And when he gets confused, he does really odd things. And you'll see in the film that he goes over the line. But so does the movie star.
Yeah, and
the movie star goes over the line equally as well, you know, by torturing.
And his inability to pick up on social cues, it takes it down a path where it's like, oh no.
Correct.
And I got to tell you, John, the entire time while watching this movie, I don't think there was a moment where something on my body wasn't clenched.
Yeah.
Whether it was my hands or my mouth or even my butt cheeks. I mean, I was just like, it was tense.
Well, because
the
it's
whole thing.
Nothing
you know?
times up. The point when you finally get to have this moment with Hunter Dunbar's his name is the character. He has a bad experience, and you just happen to come upon him at that time, and it never syncs up right. So that starts.
That's correct. It's also a movie about bad timing.
Yeah, and then some.
Because if he had just been in the right mood and had his autograph, he would have been over.
Yeah.
But of course, then we wouldn't have had a movie.
Yes.
But what I thought was brilliant was that I loved that your character before all that started to happen. So I almost felt bad, and I was like, well, it's not that bad that he's doing some of these things, you know. But then it progresses into the movie. But you really made me love that character before you found out the other stuff.
Yeah, thanks. I wanted him to be loved because I feel like everyone is a little bit of the character Moose. We all have a little Moose in us. It's just how far do we take it? And if we didn't have Moose in us, how would we be, you know, ourselves to create an effect on others?
Yeah, I might be in your plane later.
Well, Hunter Devon Sawa, is that the actor who's playing Hunter?
Correct.
Yeah. So again, nobody's all that awesome in this. Everyone's got, you know, even his friends, or quote unquote friends, are not that good as far as friends. And I like that because that's sort of real. But I like also the peek into the side of the people who are out on the street who make money. You know, you're dressing up as a Bobby, you know, to pick up some money, and there are these things going on in that world that sort of, for some reason, Hollywood, when depicted in a seedier fashion, always appeals to me. It's like a Raymond Chandler sort of.
Well, also maybe that's a bit of the truth.
Yeah. But in a way, that's sort of, that's almost sort of enticing too. That bizarre aspect.
Yeah, I love how L.A. is depicted in this film. I think it's very real and tragic almost. You know.
I thought in watching the movie at first, and now seeing you today, I probably know it's not the case, but I thought maybe you would cut your own hair for the role.
No, it was really cool because I said, when I loved the script and wanted to do it, I said to Fred Durst, what do we do about how he looks? I mean, the Hawaiian shirt was an obvious kind of choice. There's bad shorts and bad sneakers and all that. But I said, what about the hair and the look? And he said, well, what do you think about mullets? And I said, I don't know. It's overdone. And he said, well, there's a lot of different kinds. Would you care to look? So I looked on the internet, about 100 different types, and boom, suddenly there was this dude, with the exact haircut Moose has, with glasses. And I texted it to Fred, and I said, I found the look. I found it. And he said, I agree. This is the right way to go.
I have to tell you, I was at it, and when I saw this character of Moose, I've told you guys this story. I was at a convention one time, one of these conventions. I am a real fan like this, not Moose level, and Adam West was there, the original Batman.
Man,
so everyone's
Adam
there.
West.
There was a guy who looks exactly like your character in this knapsack, the whole thing, the backpack. With about 50 cans of Fresca in that thing, and that same sort of delivery. And you work on this character with that, Mr. West, and he's, you know, sort of that thing. And so your heart sort of, you know that this is not just a hobby, it's his life.
And there is a difference. It's a professional fan that that usurps signatures and sells them.
Right.
And then there's the guy that ain't selling nothing.
Yeah.
And is going to keep it. And that's Moose. Moose is not getting rid of any of his memorabilia at all. So how do you detect the difference? I don't know.
Yeah.
But definitely there is a difference.
And you're known to be fan friendly. When the opportunity is right and that person does approach you
respectfully.
Yeah, respectfully. Do you know what you're giving them? I would think, this is a very special moment for them.
Absolutely. And I grew up being a fan, so I understood.
Right.
And I remember a very famous movie star who will remain nameless, but he kind of, just discarded my this is before I was famous. And I decided that if I ever became famous, I would never do that. So I live by that motto, But again, how do you navigate the line of privacy? And
It is a tough line because, and again, with people who approach you, and we always think in that. Listen, we're on local radio, but whatever the stories, if somebody comes up. It's every time the edict is you shake hands, you say hi, you do the deal because that's an important thing, and sometimes as what happens with Hunter, the star in this, he lets his life cloud his remembering because it starts off with a quote from him: "I'm nothing without my fans," but he doesn't abide by that.
Well, sometimes there are good people that are bad celebrities.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Right.
So my cure to that always has been don't go out unless you're in the mood for it.
That's good. Good rule. Yeah.
Are you in the frame of mind if you go out to dinner to be interrupted, bothered, whatever, take pictures? And if you are, go out.
Yeah.
If you're not, that's just part of the very small price you pay for this glorious life that we have.
Well, case in point, in 1996, you met a nice 21-year-old young man in Beverly Hills, California, and I had a job at the time where I was driving around cars for Enterprise Rent-A-Car in Beverly Hills, and I saw you, and the only thing that I could think to say was, "Oh my God, that's John Travolta," and you came over and you looked me in the eye just like you did 10 minutes ago and shook my hand and said, "Hi, it's very nice to meet you." And then you went about your day, but you couldn't have been more pleasant. And I've heard countless stories of how kind you are to people, and it's not hard to be nice. And I think people just lose sight of that. It's really easy to just be a decent, nice person to everybody
also,
else.
Let's face it, what you resist, you become. The more you withdraw from it, the worse it gets. So just, own it.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to tell you, on the shaved head thing, I endorse it 100%.
You look good.
There's a movie that I love of yours. A lot of people are not familiar with it. They should be. It's From Paris with Love.
Oh, hell yeah.
And damn, you are the baddest badass in that movie. Preston, this movie will rock your world.
Recently, and flown out of Philly International have realized what just a slice of fun it is to park in those garages.
Slice of fun.
And apparently, according to this article that Steve sent me last week, I didn't get a chance to get to it, but the economy lot with 7,100 spaces, where you go out and you park and then you get on a shuttle and it brings you back to the airport. Well, they are going to redevelop that into expanded cargo operations and not returning to parking there.
Wait,
has it been closed?
It's been closed.
I thought so. Okay, yeah.
The reason being is that the idea of people getting in the buses,
yes,
during the height of COVID, they didn't know what the risk factor was.
So then there's not very many options left for parking.
That is correct.
Casey flew when you did the Arizona trip not that long ago, and when you got back, you told all of us that the parking was a nightmare. You had a really hard time finding a spot, and as a result, when we did Chicago 2 weeks ago, I took Uber to and from the airport. I left my car here because parking was so challenging. I wonder how often more people are just going to avoid parking altogether
and
at the airport.
do that. I guarantee you a lot.
What they're recommending.
Okay.
That's actually what they're recommending now. Is using a rideshare service or cab or whatever.
We used to use Winter.
Which was the greatest service ever.
Winter Airport parking was a godsend.
They were terrific. I used another one over the summer. I can't remember the name of it. It was fine. Yeah. No, it was somewhere in Essington. And listen, the same service. They got you to and from, and it was no problem. But the fact that there's no massive long-term parking anymore boggles my mind.
The way it's sandwiched where it is, Preston, leaves you not many options.
Well, and I'm also, when I now go to park in the garages, I'm curious as to the fee that you pay.
Yes.
Because economy was dirt cheap. That's part of the reason why you went there. If you're going to leave your car there for 3 or 4 days, it's cheap. It's a pain in the ass to get on the shuttle and come back, but that's why it's cheap. It's further away. And
you're doing a little extra work, yeah.
Yeah, and so, they're going to get rid of that.
I bet you they up all the prices around them too. Like whatever is left, the
I will
prices are going
guarantee
to
you're
skyrocket.
right. I'll guarantee you're right. Absolutely.
Well, they won't have as much to play to pay for because for the shuttle service costs $10 million a year.
Whoa.
And if they're not
Per
paying
person?
for that, no, not per person.
Oh, okay.
But that's what it costs to run that $10 million per year, if I read correctly in this.
10 million? 10 million?
Yeah, here you go.
$10 million.
Pre-pandemic shuttle service to and from the lot costs the airport about $10 million a year. Wow. So
Yeah,
they
but-
won't have that bill
Yeah,
anymore.
but what I'm saying is outside, not owned by the airport.
Oh, okay.
Outside services are going to jack their prices because you're not going to be able to park at the airport.
So the PHL Chief Revenue Officer, James Tyrell, said this real estate, meaning that they're going to expand the cargo services and put that more shipping business. So the real estate will serve to support phase 1 of our cargo redevelopment program. The 40-acre parcel will be a critical piece for us being able to start that program. So heading into the busy period of Thanksgiving travel, the airport is urging passengers to use alternatives such as riding SEPTA or taking Uber and Lyft. Travelers who insist on driving themselves, they say, should arrive 3 hours in advance of their flight to find a parking space.
I wonder this situation, Preston. So let's say you're like, I remember the auto mall area there. I wonder how many extra lot availability exists, so much so that a business could say, here's your removed airport parking, and they run a shuttle to the airport as a cottage industry.
There are some lots around there that
do that.
Yeah.
I wonder how many more might be incited to do it now.
That's a good question. The decision to keep the economy lot closed means that PHL passengers will have to adjust their expectations about parking availability for the long term. The economy lot, which has 7,100 spaces, has been closed since March 2020. The closure of a nearby private long-term lot sold in a $45 million deal this past summer for warehouse development added to the crunch as well. There are about 12,000 spots that are available to travelers in airport parking garages. Casey was flying out of Terminal A, but parked in Terminal F because that's where he found a spot.
Actually, as it turns out, it was Terminal E.
Oh, E, I'm sorry.
So Terminal F is not connected, all right, so I parked in Terminal F and then had to walk around to Terminal E. It was bizarre, and it was the only place I could get a spot in.
One time I made the mistake of figuring, I was waiting for the shuttle to come around to take me to the economy park, and I said, okay, I forget what terminal I was at, but it seemed to be closer to economy park. I'm just going to walk over there.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
From long term?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's
what a mistake.
Like a mile, depending on which terminal you're going to. But the long-term parking, that was a total crapshoot too, because you could wait for that shuttle forever, and then even when you got back back into the long-term parking,
the worst.
You had to remember where your car was, and they didn't go in alphabetical order when they would drop you off at the different parts of the lot. It was a pain in the ass.
You know what? I think there was a little secret spot, if I remember correctly, that was long term, and I think it was between between like E and F. I remember seeing this weird little sign. I'm like, wait a minute, you can go to long term parking there?
Huh.
And I think I remember just seeing it once or twice, and I don't know whatever happened to that, or if it was a different lot or what.
Do you know what's a way around it, Preston?
What?
Dress as a pilot.
Okay.
All right. And then just pull up in front and throw your keys to the guy.
Well, so when we were flying out, we flew out going south, and I was looking out the window, and I could see. So I used to work around there. I was a courier, and so I would be in all of those places: FedEx, Airborne, Emory, like all over that entire area, like Hog Island Road. And I was looking down, and there are 2 giant empty lots.
What up with that?
Well, but I was just looking up to see if they were for sale. They're not for sale, but like those, they're right there. I mean,
Wouldn't that become a moneymaker now? If you're basically saying with no future plan to reclaim that econo parking, couldn't that? I mean, wouldn't that be a license to print money?
They would have.
You want to buy them?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
So
we'll use our fire truck money.
Hang on, they're not actual lots that are like paved and all that. They're just empty
you're
areas
harshing my buzz.
I know, but they used to be.
All right, so we have to pave them too.
Yeah, well, yeah, you have to grade them, pave them, and all that. I mean, it looks like they used to be giant warehouses, and the warehouses aren't there anymore.
I'm pretty good with the shovel.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for the weekend case when you did short term?
Actually, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was $64.
I think they must have reduced it.
They had to
It
have.
used to be It's $20 a day.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been that for a while. I used to do it all the time.
Okay. Yeah, because I think we paid for coming back from Chicago somewhere in the neighborhood. I think it was $62 or something.
64.
64? Or you were riding with us. That's right. Let me go to Jerry, works for a car service. Hey, Jerry, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. What's up, my man?
Well, I'll tell you what they've done is if you park on the ground level, on the short-term parking,
Yes.
you're basically paying about $6 an hour. But if you go up into the garage, they've reduced that for long-term parking.
Okay.
Instead of the lots.
Yeah,
And
I
they're
remember
charging-
one time a few years ago, I pulled into that street level parking, and I didn't know that was like super duper short term parking and
Yeah.
super duper expensive.
I didn't know there was a difference.
Yeah, there is. And I left
about
my car
$8
there
an
for
hour.
like a weekend, and it was over $100.
Yeah, it's like for
It was
people
ridiculous.
who want to park and run into the airport to like
Yes.
pick somebody
Yes.
up or
Right,
help
right.
with luggage or whatever.
You're exactly right. I'm wondering this. Has anyone ever parked over a couple of days in the cell phone lot?
Oh.
I would imagine they patrol that to see if anybody was in their
You would
vehicles or
imagine,
not.
right?
Yeah, because you have to be with
But
your
do
vehicle.
they?
Put a mannequin
Do
in
they?
there.
Jerry, you know anything about that?
What, in the cell phone lot?
Yeah.
You could, but they
Yeah, but you'd be
patrol through there.
Yeah, and you'd also be trucking your luggage like on an on ramp to get to the airport.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
I
get
tell you
over
what
there.
they do is they have utility trucks come in and they'll park their cars, the trucks there, and leave them for the weekend.
Oh, in the cell phone lot?
No, in the ground level, and they're
Oh.
paying $44 a day for that.
Dude.
But if you think about it, it's the most secure place to keep a utility truck.
Yeah.
Borrow your neighbor's utility truck.
Yeah.
Because
And a couple $100.
I had guys walk up to me and ask me, "Hey, do you know where parking lot 4 is?" I say, "Well, no, they're all letters."
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to find my truck, and they're basically coming in for the weekend to work the week and then fly back out, and they just leave them there.
What a lot of people don't know, Jerry, is that there's actually a parking lot F and a half. And if you drive your car right at the wall, it goes through.
9 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys know that there's a tunnel from the
Yes!
airport to the parking garage?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I was just going to say that because
No.
I had accidentally missed my terminal, and I needed to I was like, am I turning onto the tarmac here? Like,
Okay, then that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Where is this?
it said you could turn, and I was like, well, I'm turning. I was like, this does not feel right. I feel like I'm going to see an airplane any second
So,
now.
so you
Yeah.
you turn towards the runway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
All right, Subaru Outback, you cleared for takeoff?
It's between E and F. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Huh.
I said there was something between E and F, and that's it. Okay.
Correct.
And is that and that's in departing flights, like when you're dropping people off, right?
I drop people off for departing flights, and then I'll go back and park in the parking lot if I have to pick someone up.
So,
Okay.
so there is a tunnel?
Yeah, rather
Yeah.
than circle all the way, they leave the airport, circle
Right.
all the way back around, and then go if you wanted to drop people off and then park. Yeah.
Huh.
Steve, you have to make a right to get into the tunnel, which makes you feel like you're driving towards the runways.
Yeah.
And then it loops back around and goes back towards where the parking garage is.
Interesting. All right.
They should let you
thanks,
drop
Jerry.
off on the tarmac, don't
Wouldn't
you
that be nice? Right at the aircraft? I think it'd save everybody a lot of
Goodbye!
time, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but they said, I saw some news report over the weekend that said with Thanksgiving coming up that parking is just going to be impossible.
Yeah.
So clearly, the thing that makes the most sense is a ride service, if you can. I mean, even though, so what if you compare cost? Say, all right,
Depends on where you live.
All right, let's say let's take the furthest out, like
Oh, it's
Harley's
going to be
Hill.
double what it would cost me to park my own car. If
Okay.
I had to take an Uber all the way from Harleysville to the airport and then one back, it'd cost well over $60 to
here's
get
the
So
there.
deal.
the idea is,
Yeah.
is to pick a place where you can park, like you take it from here.
That
right
too.
here,
I
and
could
then-
come and park here in
and then
Bala
take the Uber.
at our.
They're really making this difficult for us.
Yeah, they are.
I am? Oh.
Like just like for you to have
Yeah.
to
You are.
drive your car from home to work to park here over the weekend, then get an Uber. Like, come on.
I thought you said you're making it
You,
really
No.
difficult.
why
for
did
us,
you
Preston.
design the airport this way?
You make it a lot difficult, but not this. I wasn't
Not
talking
this
about you.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't see how this can sustain itself. With because if you are running behind slightly and you get there and you've got to find a parking spot, and forget it, man, it's really, really hard. Like Casey had to park all the way down at the other end of the airport.
It becomes very difficult.
I didn't tell you guys about my Uber ride from here to the airport when we left for Chicago. That Uber driver was nuts. He was driving on the side of the road. He was weaving in and out of traffic, and he thought he was doing us a favor to get to the airport.
I'll get you there.
I mean, we were up on the shoulder for like a mile going down 70 because there was a roving construction crew, dude. And I was like, what if anything's on the shoulder? We're gonna
Guys,
run right
lean
into
over.
it.
I'm going to two-wheel it.
there was a roving construction crew somewhere near Spring Garden or whatever, so it was backed up traffic. We made it there in plenty of time, but I was like, and what? I'm not gonna argue with the guy while we're actually driving, working our way down, but it was a little terrifying.
Well,
I get it. I do you a favor and you spit in my face.
I give him a good tip.
So passengers can check out the airport's online guide to public and ground transportation options if you are interested in that. But with the holidays coming up, and listen, it's been closed for a while, but if you haven't flown for a while, maybe you didn't know that, but economy lots are closed, and apparently they're going to stay that way for good.
It looks so weird looking over and seeing it completely empty. This is the first time I'd seen it like that. I haven't traveled.
And then you got all those shuttle drivers that they're not going to rehire again.
Yes, which
so
sucks.
That sucks. But
make them pilots.
Okay. Yeah. They need some of
Buses
those.
are hard to fly.
Kathy lost her.
The pilot
and
didn't know it.
Marissa, on the way back, I didn't have a pilot. Have the shuttle dude do it. All right. We need to take a break and come back in a moment. Oh, I promised I was going to do this. I'm sorry. Casey, I need to do this.
Oh, that's right.
We made the announcement earlier this morning. It is the return of the Preston and Steve Christmas Miracle Miller Lite Ugly Sweater Edition. And we are headed back to Parks Casino. It will be Friday, December 17th in the 360 Lounge, our old stomping grounds. We'll be broadcasting live. We got huge prizes all morning long. You will have to win your way into the studio audience. We have not started giving those away yet, but we will tell you when you can win those. Or you can enter for a chance at a Miller Lite pre-party. There's going to be one this Friday at Bailey's Bar and Grill, Levittown. So this Friday from 6 to 8 p.m., stop by and you might have a chance to win. You have to be at least 21 years of age to attend, and only the seat winner will be eligible for the Christmas Miracle prizes. So you can go to events at WMMR.com and find out all the info. But it's a Christmas Miracle. Jot the date down, December 17th. We'll be back with the Bizarre File next.
And John is amazing at it. Who's the director of that?
That's the guy that did oh gosh, you've tested me now.
Yeah, he's great. He's done a whole bunch of stuff that's similar.
Fantastic.
But did you enjoy making that film?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Because they were demanding stunts and action that I've never, had done before, and I had to do them myself. And I loved the badass character. He was just whatever. He was bold.
Yeah.
Pierre Morel, is that it?
Yes, there's
Pierre
some.
Morel.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
Well, I looked it up.
You've
so.
saved me.
What would you prefer, stunts or dancing?
Dancing.
Come on.
Any day.
Well, did Pitbull inspire? Was he?
Yeah, he's my buddy.
He's your buddy. You're in a video of his.
I love my Pitbull. He's. I met him 3 years ago just to reach out and tell him, how much as a fan.
Right.
And then he's such a brilliant entrepreneur. He got thinking about it, and he said, maybe I should put him in one of my videos dancing, because nobody's dancing very much anymore.
Right.
He does, but
Right.
nobody else really. So I thought, well, hell, I'll join him. And
I think Christopher, I'm sorry to interrupt.
that's
I think Christopher Walken has danced in every single move. Even if it's for just a
Tiny
quick
bit.
shuffle step. I think in
Yeah.
every single role he's ever done.
Got a Broadway history.
Yeah.
Music. Yeah,
And you danced with him in Hairspray.
I certainly did.
Yes.
He played my husband.
That's right.
So I wanted to ask you, because you had 3 movies in a row that I really loved of yours, and it started with Wild Hogs. I can't believe I loved it as much as I was laughing out loud.
It's a funny movie.
It is a funny movie. It really is. It surprised me with how funny it was. I don't know if that's a backhanded compliment or whatever, but
No, it's a funny movie, and who would have thought a bunch of old guys in motorcycles would be that funny?
But your character as Edna Turnblatt in Hairspray, and I love that movie. I have songs from that movie in my iPod. You Can't Stop the Beat is a really, really great
That's
song.
great, yeah.
And then followed by Bolt. Bolt. And speaking of songs,
he's not kidding.
I'm not kidding. I have I Nearly Lost You. It was a duet that you did with Miley Cyrus. I have that on my iPod.
Do you really?
I do. And I thought you sounded great in that. So this is a long diatribe. But what do you prefer, singing or dancing?
I'd still prefer dancing, but I enjoy singing because I did both as an early professional. In order to work in New York, you had to sing, you had to act, you had to dance. 3 chances of getting employment.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed all of them,
Yeah.
but I'm most comfortable dancing and then probably acting and singing. I just happened to be able to hold a pretty good tune, you know.
Well,
I had a very high, like almost a high baritone or tenor.
You still do.
Voice, yes.
You still do. I mean, in Bolt, in that song, and I would ask anybody that, has an iTunes account or whatever, listen to the song if you haven't heard it before. It's the song that ends.
He's played it for us many times.
Maybe, but it's the song that runs at the end of the movie.
Well, it just seems that my voice is like, for instance, You're the One That I Want in Greece.
Yeah.
And Bolt song, there's this high, range that I sing in that it's kind of different than most people. So it's kind of identifiable as my niche or something as a singer.
I love the way you sing. You're the one that, because you're the one that I want.
Yeah. A lot of yodels in that song.
A lot of yodels. So with the career as long as yours, getting back to the Fanatic,
it's biblical, yes.
It seems I never hear stories of you. There never seems to be a situation like a moose ending up. You don't seem to draw that kind of.
I don't because I think because I embrace my fans.
Yeah.
And I actually communicate with them. There is not that urge to. I'm not a mystery as much, and I'm not a can't have.
Right.
And as soon as you become a can't have, it starts a frenzy.
Do you so some people are calling it a horror suspense. Do you like things of the things that make you uncomfortable?
I like the ones I've done. I love Carrie. When I was a kid, I did that movie. And
was that your first major film?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, with Brian De Palma, and then we got together again for Blowout, and I certainly love that.
Which is so we work obviously with audio. It took the classic film Blow Up and made it audio.
Yes, exactly.
And so I remember thinking, and I thought with the editing and all that stuff, it actually was one of the things like I think I want to do this. But Brian De Palma is a brilliant director. Did you see the documentary on him recently?
I haven't.
He goes on about you in
Really?
it, and just nothing but accolades and working with you. But it's a really cool insight to the movie.
When did this come out? I'd love to see it.
I watched it on iTunes.
Netflix or
Yeah,
iTunes?
it's probably all over the place.
I'm gonna have to see that one because I love documentaries.
Yeah.
I mean, they're my favorite entertainment.
There's actually CNN is doing a good series on movies now, a documentary series, and you are figuring prominently in it as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
2 things to watch.
John, I wanted to ask in The Fanatic, your character Moose mentions a couple of times somebody you've worked with before, and that's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
And
she's got 2 pools.
I got a kick out of hearing that because I'm sure you guys are friends or have been over the years, and maybe it's been a while. But has word gotten back to her that, or have you heard from her that she's mentioned in that?
Not yet, but soon.
Okay.
Soon. I invited her to the premiere, so maybe she'll learn that.
Yeah. I thought, was that Fred's idea to include that, or did he write that in?
Okay. He wrote that. All the dialogue is. I improvise quite a bit, but all the primary dialogue is Fred's.
Okay.
Because it seems. But I was reading that he was working with you, sort of. Asking questions to Moose to incite responses, so that you started to think.
That's
in that
the actor, and Fred he's a really terrific actor as well as a director. But he's the only director I've worked with that actually could do this. But he would legitimately improvise with me as Moose, and it got me in the frame of mind. And then I would go to each department. I go to the lighting department, the wardrobe, the makeup here, and I'd be in character, and I'd have them ask me questions. And it was like a juggernaut. And as soon as Fred sensed that I had arrived at the Moose Zone,
the Moose Zone,
boom, we would do action.
That's cool.
And it was a very, very great way to. There's nothing better for an actor to prep than for someone to ask them questions about them.
In the character.
In the character.
So
to think in the character.
Is that classically what we would refer to as method?
No, I'd say it's a method.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the classic method because it is more about reliving past incidents and things. I think this is.
And you never had a mullet.
And I never had a mullet. But I do think that assuming the beingness of a character quickly is where you want to be when you do a role, and it helps you to be that when you're asked questions before you go on. Sure. You know, it's nice.
You didn't have a mullet, but you did have long hair in Pulp Fiction, and I get you in my phone fairly frequently. When I'm not, when I'm running late to the gym, my trainer will send me a text, and it's just you doing the looking around me gif and, in Pulp Fiction. But in that role, you played such an interesting character because you're lost a lot of the time, and you know you're in this haze, but you're also in this like euphoria. Where did that come from?
It's a very good question, because you know he's a hitman, but he's also they call it chippy, a weekend heroin addict. And I thought, well, I have no reality on that. I'm gonna have to find out. So I interviewed several heroin addicts and asked them about how they felt. And then finally one day I said, look, I'm never gonna do it, so you have to help me understand that feeling. And he said, okay, well, I really can't, but if you have to know the beginning of the feeling, is get really drunk on tequila and lay in a body of warm water. And he said that little bit of feeling is the beginning of that.
Did you do that?
I did that. And of course, when I'm not a drinker either, but when I did it, everyone I knew wanted to join me in the experiment. Oh, that sounds cool. When are we doing that? Wow. Okay, we are doing my character study together tomorrow night.
Man, that sounds like fun. I want to do that.
It was fun, and then from there I grew, and then with the descriptions that they told me, and I was able to design it. But that's even Quentin didn't know all the time what I was doing, because he just trusted me. He said, John, well, I don't why he's walking that slow, why he's talking this slow, I'll figure it out later. But
he let you go? He just let you go?
He just let me go.
Wow.
Because I think the great ones do that. Brian De Palma and Quentin and Robert Altman and Mike Nichols, all those guys I worked with all had that one thing in common. They hired you, you're 90% there. 10% is guiding you here and there.
Is that what happened? So it's Saturday Night Fever. John Badham was the director?
Yeah, he let me go because I said, Badham, you're from Texas. I'm from New York. I know this guy better.
Yeah.
So leave me alone. I'll help you with me, and then I won't interfere with how you direct
It's got to be the ultimate compliment as an actor for a director to say, you got it.
It is,
Yeah.
and it's the smartest.
Yeah, yeah.
If the actor is trustworthy.
Right.
I think it's the only way to go, because otherwise you get a mediocre performance as opposed to a kind of a higher end performance.
I want to ask you, you've worked with John Woo twice, right?
Oh, yes.
So you did Face Off and Broken Arrow, and for a guy who's so incredibly likable, you play a incredibly adroit prick in those movies. You are so evil.
I haven't figured that out yet. How is that possible?
But it seems to me you enjoyed it so much, especially with playing basically Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
With that, and you are so hilariously evil in that. Was that just a joy?
It was a joy,
Yeah.
and it was easier for me than it was for Nicholas.
Because you had to tamp down.
Well, Nicholas really had to find me somewhere, and he had a hard time finding me in the movies because I'm different in most movies. But Nicholas is very specific in his talk and his behavior, and so it was a little easier for me to grasp his side of it than it was for him to grasp my side.
So I wanted to ask you, let's get away from acting for a second. I wanted to ask you about your planes and your pilot's license. What ratings do you have, and how long did it take you to get them?
Okay, you ready for the long list?
Well, so I have a couple of friends that are pilots, and so I'm a little bit familiar with it.
Okay, I have 10,000 hours in the air.
Jeez.
It's quite a bit. I have, 12 jet ratings, 747, 707, Gulfstream, Citation, Lear, Hawker, Falcon jet, 3 different fighter jets.
No kidding.
Oh, wow.
Wait, which fighter? Because Preston and I have both flown in fighter jets.
Yeah, I went
we
up
didn't
with the
pilot it.
No, I got to fly mine a little. I went up with the Blue Angels. And,
did you?
Yeah.
How was that?
Immediate flight. It was amazing.
Did they make you sick?
I passed out and puked.
That's why I won't go with them, because I don't want to do that. I have too much pride to end up, doing that. But
Yeah, it was FA-18. You were in an F-16 because he was with the Air National Guard.
I wore a G suit, so I didn't pass out or get sick.
Yeah, well,
but I
that's
did pull 9
good
Gs.
for you.
Yeah.
Well, you have to tell them before. You have to say, you know what? I don't want to get sick. Please don't make me. Yeah, so that's my you know.
And how many years? How long did it take?
Oh God, I've been flying since I was 16.
Okay.
Really? It blows my mind when I see a shot of you sitting in the cockpit of a 707. I mean, because I know my litmus test has always been if you've ever locked your keys in your car, you shouldn't be a pilot. So you know, but to me that it requires such a skill set and an attention to detail. And you just legitimately, you know, we know about like David Gilmour as a pilot, and there are a lot of people just love it. I'm thrilled with the notion, but I would never do it because I know my own limitations. But I mean, when you get behind when you're flying a 747, you know, are you white knuckling it, or are you just in absolute ecstasy?
No, I find that the bigger the plane, the more almost simple it is.
Really?
Yeah, and less complex. Well, it's complex in its systems, but it's, you know, there's a lot of booster systems and boosted systems, I should say, that make it like a power steering. You know, it's kind of effortless.
Backups.
You don't really feel the size of the plane.
All right.
In the smaller jets, you actually feel it more. You know.
Would there be enough room for me to lay down and cry? Because that's all I.
Yes, you can lay down and cry.
Well, being famous, you have a lot of people have the privilege of, you know, having private jets and being flown all over the place. When you do get into one of your jets or something, are you flying it?
Yes, for the most part, unless I'm tired, and then you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Did you see there was a news story yesterday? Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s citation that went off the runway. Let's take a run at the bizarre file again.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, it's brought to you by WPHL TV. Young Sheldon joins The Big Bang Theory on PHL 17 weeknights at 7 and 9:30. Family night every night is on PHL 17. Well, giving you time to have your breakfast, let that settle down for a little while before I get to this story. An electrician who admitted murdering 2 women in 1987 also sexually attacked scores of corpses in a hotel, in a hospital mortuary, in the worst offending of its kind in British legal history, prosecutors say. David Fuller pleaded guilty to murdering Wendy Nell and Caroline Pierce in separate attacks. The 67-year-old changed his pleas on Thursday, partway through his trial, which heard that he sexually assaulted the 2 women after killing them. He had admitted killing both women, but originally pleaded not guilty to murder on the grounds of diminished responsibility. Now, his trial heard that he also sexually assaulted women's corpses in the mortuaries of Kent and Sussex hospitals and Tunbridge Wells Hospital while working there. Police have detected at least 99 potential victims of Fuller in what is believed to be the worst case of necrophilia in British legal history.
So, I mean, that's an insane amount of people. So that was the greatest job he could have.
Yes.
That's a nightmare.
Before his murder trial, he pleaded guilty to 51 other offenses, including 44 charges related to 78 victims identified who were attacked in mortuaries, which he had access to through his work as an electrician.
Oh, one other thing. Yeah.
The attacks on the corpses are believed to have been committed between 2008 and November 2020. So when Fuller's home was raided, police discovered 4 million images of sexual abuse. Most were downloaded from the internet, but Fuller had also recorded himself abusing bodies. Between 2008 and 2020, Fuller had filmed and photographed himself abusing the bodies of dozens of women and girls at 2 hospital mortuaries where he was able to access through his job as a maintenance supervisor.
So he killed the 2 women with the intent of having his way with them after they were dead, right?
I don't know. I don't know if that was his intent, but he did it. Yeah, for sure. Fuller was arrested for murder on the 3rd of December last year after new analysis of decades-old DNA evidence, and officers searched his home. Wow.
Beyond depraved.
Right? All right, let's go with something a little nicer.
Less
than
corpse
that.
bangy.
Happy ending on this. Investigators rescued a missing North Carolina teen and arrested the man with her during a traffic stop in Kentucky Thursday afternoon. Now, according to the sheriff's office, caller told 911 that the female passenger in the silver Toyota in front of them on I-75 was making hand gestures that are known on TikTok to represent violence at home, I need help, and domestic violence.
Right.
While investigators made their way to the scene, the caller followed behind the Toyota to give updates on where they were going. Investigators pulled the vehicle over and learned that the 16-year-old passenger was reported missing out of Asheville, North Carolina by her parents on Tuesday. Through the investigation, they learned that the teen traveled with the driver, 61-year-old James Herbert Brick, of Cherokee, North Carolina, to Ohio, where Brick had relatives. The incident report says when his relatives realized that the teen was underage and reported missing, Brick allegedly left Ohio with the girl, and she tried to get passing drivers to call 911. Deputies say they found a photo of a juvenile female being portrayed in a sexual manner on a phone in Brick's possession. Brick was charged with unlawful imprisonment and possession of matter showing sex performances by a minor, but it was because she was making these hand gestures that somebody saw that, knew what it was, called the police, and took care of that, which is awesome. So thank God that ended better than it could have. A man who was missing for 24 years reappeared this week to allegedly stab his brother in the chest in the middle of the night.
I forgot to do this.
Ivo Rabanzer, a 42-year-old man who vanished in 1997, allegedly attacked his brother Martin while the latter was sleeping in bed next to his wife.
Oh, I know I forgot something before I left.
Ivo had reportedly staked out his brother's house, sleeping in a tent in the woods nearby. Ivo said, I felt a huge rage inside towards my brother, but I didn't want to kill him. I stayed alone with him while he was in agony on the bed, and I could have finished him, but instead I went to the kitchen, which is where the police found me.
You know what? You're a pretty good brother.
Martin has since been hospitalized with serious injuries. A lawyer for Martin said that he had been stabbed in the lung. The lawyer added, one theory is that Ivo was angry about the terms of their inheritance from their father, which would include the house that Martin still lives in and has been nurturing a grudge ever since.
So he let it stew for 24 years.
Yeah, he just did that little thing. All right, and we will wrap it up with that one. That is all I have in the bizarre file at this point in time for you, my friend. When we return from this break, we will see how if you've been paying attention, and we'll ask a lesson question. We'll also get into trash and music news. Those things are coming up, so stay put. We'll be right back. Caught on fire. Everybody got out. Everybody was okay, but the plane was a total loss. Yeah.
Oh, I've got to look that up.
Yeah,
I think you always learn by these things.
Okay. Yeah, they're the FAA and the Safety Administration are looking at it. Speaking of aircraft, your 707 is is being donated?
Yes, I'm donating to Australia. I've had it 18 years, and I loved it, but it's getting antiquated, and it's time to give it away. So I'm donating it to an Australian museum.
Was this the one we heard? We were talking to Olivia Newton-John, and she said that she had never seen Grease, and you had her and her husband.
Yes.
Come on.
Well,
his husband had never seen.
He had never seen
And
Grease.
you actually went on the plane and watched it.
Correct. Yes, that is correct. I said, if you're going to marry Olivia Newton-John, you better see Grease.
Oh, that must have been so much fun.
It was, watching his reaction, because then he became the entertainment, watching him watch the screen, like I did with my dad with Mary Poppins when I was 10. I wanted him so badly to see it that I watched him the whole movie, watch the screen.
There was a screening of Grease last night at the Mann Music Center, which is this great venue in town, and the Philadelphia Orchestra was there to perform the soundtrack, and they just do a phenomenal job of accompanying the live music with the movie, and people were just going nuts for it. I mean, the movie's nearly 40 years old, or maybe it's 40 years old at this point.
It is, and it is a phenomenon. It's really interesting to see how each generation embraces that film. Because I remember when I was little, watching Yankee Doodle Dandy or,
Cagney.
Watching Wizard of Oz, and they all held up, but they were only 20 years old at that time.
Yeah.
This movie's 40, and it's still like it was as though it were done last year.
Yeah, it's pretty timeless.
It's really timeless, which I'm proud of.
It's funny, though, because I think there was a certain group in time where I was very aware of silent films, and it wasn't like I was around, thank God.
Yes, but they showed them on
you would see
4 o'clock movie.
Right. And you had an appreciation for it. That's a little harder to get now. But I mean, so for right now, I think a lot of people to be turned on to the movies of the 70s, which you are a part of.
Sure.
The second golden era of Hollywood.
Yes.
Because these are great movies that sit there, and when kids or younger people discover them, the light goes on. It's like, oh.
Yes,
because
the more timeless they are, the more they discover them, not only in a new unit of time, but as though they were back then.
Yeah.
And it had the same impact. Because Grease and Saturday Night Fever seemingly, even Urban Cowboy, to have the same impact on the new generation that it had people then.
Absolutely.
For some reason.
Still as profound as ever. Yeah.
It seems it. Do you know?
Yeah, as I did musical theater growing up, and Grease is the one play that has always eluded me, and I always wanted to play Danny Zuko, and now
I wanted to play Sandy.
Yeah, as a 44-year-old man, that's never going to happen.
Oh,
yeah.
at that point,
you're Donald Zuko at that time.
I think you should do it. The Fox News group did today. They did a reenactment of Grease. They filmed it per shot.
Oh, really?
Yes. You guys could do that.
We could do that.
100%.
We've got our Sandy.
Absolutely.
We've got all our T-Birds here.
Sure. Frenchie.
I'm the lesser-known guy, Baldy. So
It doesn't matter. Just do the leather jacket. You're home.
I mean, we still, to this day, if somebody says, rockin' and rollin'.
And whatnot.
Of course.
It just finishes all the time.
Every single time.
Without
That's
fail.
hilarious.
Well, so just thank you for all of that stuff that you've given us
you're
over the years. It's a
stuff.
real pleasure actually looking at you in the flesh. It's, you have beautiful eyes, John.
Really,
Man, it didn't get uncomfortable to the very end.
No, are you kidding? I'm an actor. I love compliments. Please, more.
You're dressed really nice too. And what a watch on you in the pocket square.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I've decided that we're each other's scenery, and that at some point, maybe not for yourself, but for another person, you have to be presentable.
Yeah.
So anyway,
You had a great quote on Good Morning America. You're making the round, so you were hitting those guys, and you said something I thought was a great outlook, and you said, life is art. Life is art, so appreciate it, enjoy it, and it's here for your entertainment.
Well, it is, because I think so many people don't view life as an art, but how you eat, who you spend time with, where you go, how you do it, how you dress is all part of an art if you choose to allow it to be an art. It's not just the quote-unquote arts of music and dance and sports, and it's actually how we live, what we're doing right now. Well, of course, this is an art because you're on radio performing.
Yeah.
But it's how we interact is also part of the art of life.
I love that. I love that outlook. All right. Well, if you want to see John definitely in a role
big departure,
unlike he's ever been in, then you want to see The Fanatic. It's a great movie, and it's in theaters on August 30th. Wonderful to have you here, John. Thanks so much.
This was probably the most fun I've ever had at an interview situation. This has been awesome.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
And loved your story, Nick, and I loved your story, Casey. Oh my God, two great stories.
I want to hug you so bad right now.
Let's hear it. John Travolta, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, John. Ewan McGregor is in talks to reprise his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in a series that centers around his Star Wars character for Disney Plus, according to the Hollywood Reporter.
It is Obi-Wan Kenobi, attorney at law. It's a departure.
That would be.
Yeah.
I think you should let him off with time served.
Giving you time served.
He's using the Jedi mind trick to sway the judge.
I think you should find him innocent.
I'm finding you innocent.
I object! There's no way that's legal! It's totally legal.
Oh, my God.
I think you need to go to sleep.
I got to go to sleep now.
That would be...
That would
be brilliant.
I would totally
attorney at law.
This isn't the evidence you're looking for.
Yeah.
Even if you're stone cold guilty, give me a call.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the commercials. Yeah.
Demand Kenobi.
Yeah. And he's licensed in Missouri.
I am.
Yeah.
And even if I'm not, I'll convince them I am.
Yes, that's right.
I'm licensed in Missouri. He's licensed in Missouri.
Better call Obi.
Would he wear a Would he be a cowboy hat?
Space cowboy.
Lawyer?
Yeah.
Type? Oh, my God. Obi-Wan Kenobi, attorney at law.
Anytime, day or night, even on New Year's Day.
Coming soon to Disney Plus.
Or Life Day on the Wookiee home planet.
No, this could be good. I loved him as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I didn't care for the series of movies, but I thought he pulled it off
I agree.
wonderfully.
He was the thing that kept me watching, and he provided, I believe, the emotional core to those. The second and third movies I really do like. I think they're good. In just tone and in some way, the distinction between the Abrams movies, the artificiality of the first trilogy was almost too much. It was so CGI'd that it was hard to connect to.
Yeah,
But
everything on the screen was fake.
Yeah.
Except for the people, and even in that case, a lot of like Jar Jar obviously was fake. But there's a big stretch of time where we don't know what happens with Obi-Wan, and maybe they'll fill in that time.
Yeah.
with his law career,
law school,
With this, yeah.
passing the bar.
Mr. Kenobi, do you have anything to say? John Houseman.
So anyhow, we'll see when that eventually
He gets his own
surfaces.
judge show.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
This bitch still got my TV. Give the TV back.
He's settling these small claims cases.
It's like Sam
This
people.
bitch still got my TV.
Oh my God. Oh.
I suggest you return the TV. Give me the TV.
All right, TMZ reports that Davey Chase. Now, I looked her up, and it says she started the ring. She was Samara. She's the psycho.
Yes.
The scary girl.
The girl in the well.
And by the way, turns out she's gorgeous.
Yes, she is.
She was arrested, and she was arrested on a drug possession charge and spent some time behind bars. Yeah.
But she escaped through the television, didn't she?
She did. She managed to get out
I
of
knew
there
we were
through the
going that
TV.
way.
But she's had some run-ins. Last year, she was locked up after cops pulled her over for joyriding in an allegedly stolen car.
She was locked up for 7 days.
Is the phone rings after 7 days or something like
In
that?
7 days. Yeah, that's when you die. You have 7 days to get your affairs in order before you're... 7 days.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie. 6.5.
7 business days.
Business days? So that means I get the weekend too?
Well, it's Monday's Labor Day, so about 8 days. All right, just stay there. I'm going to come over and kill you now.
Yeah, if you could be more specific, it might help in planning. So,
what if I go across the international date line? Let me get back to you.
Coming up soon, we'll be addressing Halloween. But
Yes.
it's a favorite costume for Halloween parties and haunted houses.
Which is the one where you go to where they have a girl who really does the full, clicking and the whole body gesticulation.
Penhurst?
No, it's there's probably one there, but there's one, maybe it's
one
it's the one way out where
I know
we
what
always
you're
get
talking
lost
about.
going to.
It's in Bucks County.
Yeah.
I know exactly the one you're
but
talking
the girl
about.
who does
Fear?
Nah.
Might be.
Valley of Fear.
It's out kind of in a woodsy area.
It's Grotto of Consternation is the name of it.
Hang on. Chrissy is on the line to tell us about that haunted attraction. And it is Valley of Fear, isn't it? So it's Valley of Fear?
It is Valley of Fear, and the girl who does play the one from The Ring, who was there for a long time, Liz, is just a phenomenal singer, too. I just wanted to let you guys know.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah, she's incredibly talented.
And she was good. As you were moving along, she'd move along, and she never sang really, but she
didn't
I'm the
sing.
chick from The Ring, and I'm coming after you.
So her name is Liz?
Yes, Liz.
All right, cool. It's going to be at the Franklin Institute, February 18th, starting then. Question that I think we're going to go with this morning is, who did the Pope hire for security at one point? 215-263 WMMR. That was uttered in the 7 o'clock hour. And let's see if you were indeed paying attention. Who did the Pope hire for security? Call now, 215-263-WMMR. We do the trash while you call.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
It is brought to you by the IBEW 654. You can join Jackie Bam Bam for Toys for Tots at local 654's Union Hall on November 13th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Information at IBEW654.net. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, Caitlyn Jenner speaking candidly about O.J. Simpson, saying Simpson once bragged to her that he would be able to kill Nicole Brown and get away with it. Caitlyn says she decided to speak up now just in case it might help with the murder trial 26 years ago.
Right.
Hey! Thank you for that.
It's insane. Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson were apparently displaying all sorts of physical affection during their New York City outings, according to multiple witnesses. Kardashian explained her attraction to Davidson, saying that he has everything she wants in a dildo.
Oh my God.
And finally, rapper Fetty Wap out on $500,000 bail as he faces charges of smuggling guns, smuggling 16 kilos of cocaine, 2 kilos of heroin, and 1,000 fentanyl pills. Fetty, who could face life in prison if convicted, says he was only heeding President Biden's suggestion that you do your Christmas shopping early. That's your Hollywood trip.
All righty, we'll see if you do indeed know the answer to this question. Who did the Pope hire for security? 215-263 WMMR. Let's try Tracy out, see if she knows. Hi, Tracy. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Tracy. So who did the Pope hire for security?
He hired the Hells Angels.
Yes. Need some strong arms. All right, Tracy, hang on. We're going to give you a 4-pack of tickets for Harry Potter, the exhibition. Something magical is coming to Philadelphia. Harry Potter, the exhibition, makes its world premiere debut on February 18th, 2022 at the Franklin Institute. And tickets are now on sale at fi.edu.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute?
Brought to you this morning by KGL Skin. KGL is testing a topical treatment for facial acne on teens and young adults with moderate to severe acne. If qualified, you may be paid up to $350. KGLSkinStudyCenter.com.
Mother, I have a strange...
Okay. Slipknot's Jay Weinberg revealed his new mask at Knotfest.
Cafe.
On Friday.
Why did you tell us about
Guys,
that?
you missed it. I don't
as-
like that this is a thing, by the way.
As,
You don't?
No.
I think it's hilarious.
oh, that you're a fan of
Kathy, is he a Slipknot fan?
Yeah. As most fans know,
I get creeped out just looking at their pictures.
Each new Slipknot album comes with new visuals and new masks. Vocalist Corey Taylor debuted a new mask at Rocklahoma Festival last month. Here's the deal. I don't know what this mask looks like. I read the story. I don't know what.
It's crazy.
Is it just nuts?
Describe it. Describe it for us, Kathy.
It's like-
in vivid detail.
Yeah, it's white and
Uh-huh.
it has eyes and like a weird
And a-
mouth.
For your mouth.
Yeah.
No, not,
I don't know.
not Corey Taylor's mask. We're talking about.
Sorry.
No, it was Jay Weinberg's the drummer. Jay
It's
Weinberg.
Betty Boop.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Could you imagine? It's an angel.
Yeah.
Angel wings.
He said, Corey Taylor said in 2017, with Slipknot, at least for most of us in the band, the mask is part of the art. It's not just the visual and the shock. It's a representation of who I am in that album. So for me, it's as natural as having a different hairstyle for one album and a tour cycle, wearing different clothes for an album and tour cycle. It's part of the dynamic.
By the way, my description was kind of right.
You were kind of right. And a
White.
little bit, he looks like like one of the sand people.
Oh,
in,
wait. No. That's Corey Taylor. That's not Jay Weinberg.
Where's Jay Weinberg?
I don't know.
Down at the bottom.
That's
Preston, right
the
there.
one.
Right
Yeah.
below.
Still correct.
That's it?
Yeah.
No, that looks like the same as Corey Taylor.
So, well, it does look very similar. His mouth looks like he's halfway through the transformation that Keanu Reeves had in Matrix.
Yeah.
Can you imagine they both come out of the locker room?
Okay.
Dude! Oh, come on.
Come on, Corey.
You have a whole bunch of masks. I only have one.
So he said it's part of the dynamic. Slipknot released a new song.
I'm Raggedy Ann.
Chapeltown Rag.
I said locker room. Dressing room.
Maybe it's a locker room.
On Friday and played it live for the first time at Knotfest. Sometimes at sports venues, they will put them in the locker room.
Yeah.
So
They should have one of the band members just wear like a tuxedo. Just like a regular straight up Sinatra.
Christmas time coming early for diehard Metallica fans with a new 40th anniversary official ring that is now on sale.
A Metallica ring.
Yeah, the piece, which is available via Metallica.com, runs $250, is 100% sterling silver featuring the M logo and Ninja Star.
Yeah.
The polished silver ring is manufactured in the USA by Silver Luthier. They almost rival Kiss.
I was thinking the same thing.
With their products. I mean,
Yeah.
they have really latched on to the fact that they have a diehard fan base, and they know that they will buy it.
Is that a Metallica Ninja Star ring?
I think it is.
Very impressive.
According to the
You're
band,
getting a promotion.
According to the band site, rings are made to order. Your credit card will be charged when the order is placed, and the ring will be shipped in 2 to 4 weeks.
You know, the one thing we've always said about it, though, if you're a fan, you're thrilled that they're doing this stuff.
Yeah. You want more
Yeah.
of whatever you can get your hands on. Most definitely. All right, and then one last story. Boy, this is hard to believe. It was 50 years ago today that Led Zeppelin released its legendary untitled fourth album, generally known to the public as Led Zeppelin 4.
Wow.
The album, which has never left the FM airways, still plays like a greatest hits collection featuring such instant era-defining classic rock staples as Black Dog, Rock and Roll, The Battle of Evermore, Stairway to Heaven, Misty Mountain Hop, Four Sticks, Going to California, and When the Levee Breaks.
I love Going to California.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do you just love going to California?
I just love the extra travel.
I love going
and the
to
points that I
California.
get on my American Man.
Yeah.
No, to me, I do love the more acoustically friendly. I guess it's because I've heard the others so much. You know, I rarely put on Led Zeppelin just to listen to and just have it as my music. But when I do, I use Calgon.
Turn it up.
Yeah, turn it up.
Upon release, Led Zeppelin 4 spent 4 weeks at number 2.
And then 2 weeks at number 4.
Unable to displace either Sly and the Family Stone's There's a Riot Going On and then Carole King's Music.
That's a good album.
It was the last studio album Zeppelin released while still a working band that failed to top the charts. All told, Zeppelin 4 spent 14 weeks on the Billboard 200 chart, selling 32 million copies worldwide, including 23 million in the U.S. alone.
So 50 years, never left the charts.
It is currently the 5th best-selling album of all time in the States. No, it's never left the FM airwaves, it said.
It's never left the effing airways.
It has left the charts. But it has sold a whole lot, and it's one of the greatest rock albums ever made, really, to be honest.
You know, it used to bother me every year because when I would really get wrapped up in the song countdowns that they would do, various stations I was listening to, you just knew number one was going to be Stairway to Heaven.
It usually, now when I grew up listening to the station Casey in St. Louis, it was either going to be Stairway to Heaven or Layla.
Layla, another one.
Layla was another one. And what was the other one? There were usually 3.
Hotel California?
Or Hotel California.
Yeah. Freebird's up there sometimes, too.
Yep. And Freebird,
yep. MGK did theirs this summer, and it was Do You Feel Like We Do by Frampton.
That's a good different one.
Yeah.
I like it.
And that's, but they didn't, Bill Weston, play the 15-minute version of it, which they should have.
They played a new version called Do You Feel Like the Bellafield?
No, they played the radio edit.
That's quitting.
I know.
That's cheap.
Oh,
that's cheating.
Just saying.
That's not cool.
Bill Weston.
I know. Come on.
He's the program director of WMGK as well.
You play a long version, you play nothing.
Thank you.
I like the countdown.
Like
the whole weekend long countdown things. I used to love that.
I'd keep
in my
a
younger
list.
days. Yes.
I'd do the whole thing.
Totally.
And now look at me, a bitter old man.
He's just a bitter old man. All right. That's all I have in music news. That's all I had to say about that. All right, we're going to take a break. We will come back in just a moment, and we will get ready to wrap up the entire show, my friend. We have a letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize. Let's find out what that is when we get back.
That's all I had to say about that.
Thank you, Chrissy. Appreciate it.
No problem.
'Cause in 7 days
See ya.
you're through. Chop-a-da-ba.
All right.
It's not that scary.
I know, it's not scary when you sing it.
Yeah, right? Wouldn't it be a little less if it were a musical?
I live in a well and my life's kind of hell and I'm coming after you.
My life's kind of hell.
I'm the chick in the well and my life's kind of hell, but I'm a coming after you. In 7 days.
7 days. In 7 days.
7 days.
7 days. Coming after you in 7 days.
Hey. The Ring, the musical.
Turn my mic on. You turned his mic off.
I didn't turn it off. I think you might have hit the button yourself there, dude.
Uh-oh.
No, there we go. I just hit that button.
All right.
Wait a second. What's going on?
Wait a
What
second.
just happened here?
Your mic will turn off in 7 seconds. Your mic will turn off in 7 seconds.
What? I don't have a mic.
So, what's going on with Lindsay Lohan and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia?
I'm sorry, I don't kiss and tell.
Mohammed bin Salman is his name.
Hey, Sababin bin Dalbin.
Rumors are Mohammed bin Salman.
Salman bin Dagman, I love you.
Mohammed bin Salman.
What?
Rumors are circulating that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, who many critics say is a dictator and the real power behind the throne of his father, King Salman, and the perpetually beleaguered Lilo have formed a special relationship of some sort.
Wait, it's a cup of good roast beef?
Some believe that he is a dictator and the real power behind the throne of his father, King Salman. So sources spill that he flies her around on his jets and showers her with presents, even gifting her with a credit card.
Oh, it's a Discover card. It pays you for every purchase.
A rep denies the claim.
What's in your wallet?
What's in your wallet? But sources insist that Lindsay, who has been based partly in Dubai for a few years, is regularly courted by Middle Eastern dignitaries.
I love dictators.
In Saudi culture of late. And
Kim Jong-un, this is Lindsay.
last year declared her intention to make an all-female film dubbed Frame about Saudi Arabian life.
I want to make an all-female version of Steel Magnolias.
It is an all-female. It's already.
God damn it.
If Lindsay is, in fact, good friends with him, she wouldn't be the first Hollywood star to cavort with dictators. Kim Jong-un and Dennis Rodman, Hilary Swank and Ramzan Kadyrov.
Yes.
Steven Seagal and Vladimir Putin are just a few of the reported Hollywood political odd couples. So Lindsay might be, I don't know, tight with Mohammed bin Salman.
Wow.
And yeah, it's pretty wild, isn't it? A former Cape Breton University student says that she regrets not making a formal complaint 3 years ago against a professor who was fired this summer for demanding moose meat, lobster, and sex from a student in exchange for better grades.
In that order?
Moose meat, lobster, and sex.
All right, you don't have moose meat. You don't have lobster.
You got any lobster?
Thanks. All right, look, how about sex?
She said,
Wait, I found some moose meat. Yeah!
She said, I wish I did something back then. I wish I got him fired, Jess Hardy said. Then the situation wouldn't have happened. She was a first-year student and said that Shamal Fernaduple made inappropriate comments and suggestions.
You're going to ruin the day, Fernaduple.
And her appearance and implied that he wanted a sexual relationship with her, and he would say inappropriate things all the time. Now, unfortunately, as the story goes on, it never gets into the details about the moose meat and lobster.
Well, it's a bizarre
That's what I'm
pecking
most
order.
interested in.
Right, yes. You don't understand.
But they ended up firing this guy because he apparently did.
Was it the moose meat?
To a couple of students. It was the moose meat.
He's there in front of the dean. It was the moose meat, wasn't it? Well, actually, the number 3 on the list here, the sex.
So apparently he wasn't only demanding sex, but moose meat and lobster.
I should have stopped at lobster.
And they fired him. So there you go. That's all I have in the
It's
details.
like he's looking for something to round out the list.
Yeah.
And the sex.
Yeah. Kourtney Kardashian is fighting back against critics who claim that she does no work.
Preston, are you saying she's clapping back?
She is clapping back, Steve. Yep. And she got some blowback after posting multiple shots from her family vacations in Italy and Idaho. I know.
So what's it going to be, kids? Italy or Idaho?
She's only visiting places that start with I.
Yeah.
And Idaho happened to be on the list. In Italy,
Indiana.
In Italy, the Poosh founder partied with her 3 kids, Mason, Penelope, and Rain. Remember Poosh?
I'm sorry, I just pooshed.
Yeah, that's her. Is that her lifestyle brand? Poosh?
Trying to be like Goop, I guess.
Yeah.
Poosh. I just pooshed in my pants.
People who brought you queef and drippy fart.
But she partied.
Poosh, and queef. The award-winning triple line from Kourtney Kardashian.
The Poosh founder partied with her 3 kids nominally for her sister Kylie's 22nd birthday.
With the subtle scent of salmon.
Several other family members were there, as was her ex, Scott Disick, with whom she shares her children, and his girlfriend, Sophia Richie. Now, in Idaho, Kourtney and her kids...
We're going to Idaho, kids!
...hung with her sister Kendall. One social media user commented, Kourtney, this is why people say you don't work, girl.
Girl.
And she replied, so she clapped back.
She clapped back.
We all have our priorities, so I'll be making memories with my kids and amazing people while living my life to the absolute fullest. And then a fight broke out between commenters who praised her for prioritizing her kids over at work and others who said, as working moms, they were dedicated to family too. And so Kourtney clapped back again.
So she clapped back at the mothers?
She says, who says I'm not a working mom? Because I most definitely am. Working moms can be dedicated, of course. As women, we should be supporting each other for what allows us to be our best, not being so critical and judgmental of each other. We all do things our own way.
Did they counterattack with the clap salvo?
I don't think so. There was not. Underlying her point, she wrote, a travel diary coming soon.
Can't wait.
On Poosh. And I guess there must be an Instagram account because it says @Poosh.
Poosh.
Yeah, @Splooge. Splooge. We need to start our own lifestyle brand called Splooge. All right, so anyhow.
Well, that's her fight song.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song.
Live it,
To be
girl.
honest, though, following her on Instagram, well, I don't follow her on Instagram, but I follow her through all the pages of TMZ and all that stuff as I put together stuff for the Hollywood Trash. And to be honest, I've never seen her do anything but vacation.
I know.
Yeah,
never.
That's what her job is.
That is her job.
Yep. Well, she's working hard then.
Well, just consult Poosh if you want to find out what she's up to.
Let's talk about the happiest place on earth.
It's magical.
Disney. This is Disneyland, by the way, in Anaheim. And there's a viral video, yes, that is making the rounds of a couple of families beating the ever-loving piss out of each other for about 4 minutes before they finally go their separate ways.
That's a long fight.
It is a long fight.
Is someone in a wheelchair?
It's in Toontown, by the way. There was somebody on a mobility scooter.
Okay, all right.
Kathy, but the fight happens. They start to split up. Then it sparks back up again. Then they kind of split up. Then it keeps going on and on.
I mean, and it's like the Andy Kaufman used to do the intergender wrestling.
Yeah.
They're brawling. Doesn't matter. The dude's beating on the woman.
Oh my God! Wait, so that's okay. I'm just seeing this for the first time.
the
guy
fists are
punches
flying.
the woman.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a couple of women beating up. It's just a mess.
Where's security?
Not that it's an excuse, but it kicks off. They're having words, and the woman just spits right in this guy's face, and then he slugs her. But I can't figure out who's on whose side.
No, neither can I.
It's like I'm like, oh, he's hitting her now. I thought she was with him, and it's just who the hell knows what's going on.
And then the woman in the mobility scooter gets up as if she
can walk.
Yeah.
It's a
miracle. This stupid fight between these imbeciles has caused a miracle.
You know what? And there's a moment in this video where the whoever is filming this video, by the way, is laughing the whole time. She's not with them because obviously she would be getting in the middle of this.
And she's up close.
But there's an older woman who gets knocked down to the ground on her back, and you hear the woman filming just laughing her ass off. And I'm like, and you can hear children crying in the background.
Oh my God. There's a little kid walking around, and it's obviously I will freely admit, I chuckled a few times, but the really tragic part of this here is this little kid is watching these adults do this and walking around with his hands up like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Even a kid can't figure it out.
And he taps, I guess, who is his mother, like, hello, I'm here,
Pitching in. It's wonderful. But we'll hopefully have all that info for you tomorrow morning. I would like to thank Mr. Daniel Roebuck.
Yay!
For coming on this morning. Super nice guy, actor, and he is going to be playing Grandpa in the new Munsters movie, directed by, as he says, Mr. Zombie. Rob Zombie is the director of that. And so it's cool having him on this morning, and that we have a friend that's in that movie.
It's great.
I hope it's great.
Yeah.
Yep. And also just reiterating that we announced the Preston and Steve Christmas Miracle 2021.
Yay!
It's a Christmas miracle! Yeah!
December 17th, which is a Friday, and we're headed back to our old stomping grounds, Parks Casino, but in the 360 Lounge, where we love doing this event. Huge prizes all morning long. You have to win your way into the studio audience, and you can listen to win on air or enter for a chance to win at a Miller Lite pre-party, because this is the Miller Lite Ugly Sweater edition of the Christmas Miracle. We'll tell you about wearing your ugly sweaters as we get a little bit closer. But there's an event coming up to win tickets on Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. at Bailey's Bar and Grill in Levittown. And they have great wings, according to Kathy. And you have to be at least 21 years of age to attend, and only the seat winner will be eligible for the Christmas Miracle Prizes.
Awesome.
It is back on. It's a great thing. Hi, Pierre.
Why, good day.
How was your weekend?
Very nice, thank you. How about you, kids?
Comatose, but good. Yeah.
Well, a well-deserved coma, I might add,
Nice.
for all of you. It was a great week last weekend. Tomorrow's totals?
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to have a meeting as soon as we're done with the show here with the higher-ups and see if they can, let us know. But usually Tuesday is when we come back with all that info.
What time about? Do you know?
You should put it in a major time, like, like 8 usually in the 8 o'clock break.
Usually somewhere nice and prime.
It's just kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Thank you, Jay Leno, for the appearance.
I realized I was doing it anyway. I might as well follow through. It's for the totals, you can't pass. It's really something,
Yeah, something around that time.
Excellent.
Cool.
Look
Letter of the
forward
day?
to it. Yes.
Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by The Letter.
L as in Led Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to give away a South Philly concert pass. You can spend September in South Philly with a pair of tickets to see Red Hot Chili Peppers with the Strokes and Thundercat on Saturday, September 3rd at Citizens Bank Park, and a pair of tickets for the Killers imploding the Mirage Tour with special guest Johnny Marr, and that is September 27th at the Wells Fargo Center. Complete details for both shows at WMMR.com. We'll give that away on Friday. Have you ever seen Led Zeppelin? Did you ever see them in concert?
I saw the
original?
reunions.
Okay.
And I was going to go to their last tour in San Francisco, and I foolishly listened to the advice of the FM DJ. He goes, well, it's a sold-out show. Now, if you don't have tickets, be a good, essentially, citizen and a responsible concert goer, and don't go. And I go, by golly, I'm going to be a responsible
By golly.
I'm not going to go, moron. I was an absolute moron.
What a
of
life
course,
lesson.
Wait, I could have gone and gotten tickets and seen them. And I would have gone. I mean, it was, 40 minutes from my house.
I didn't have something like that, but one that I regret, something along those lines, is when the Police were touring Synchronicity, and I'm like, you know what, man, there's a bunch going on. I'll catch them next time around when they come in, and then
You
that
have
was
to be careful of the next time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I saw all two Leds. I saw them reunited at Live Aid, which I thought was stunning, but they didn't like. They didn't release that performance. And I saw them reunite at the 40th anniversary of Atlantic Records at Madison Square Garden. They were the last ones on, but again, each of those was only a 3 or 4 minute, or 3 or 4 song set.
Right.
But still, it was cool.
Nice.
I got a moment.
What's up on your show today?
Well, Led Zeppelin 4, obviously, as you mentioned, released 50 years ago today, so we're going to celebrate that. We've got cool workforce blocks. We also have a conversation with Robbie Krieger of The Doors.
Wow. Cool.
He's got an autobiography out, and thank you, Nick. You turned me on to that.
Yeah, he was not available during our show, and so, he's going to do a virtual event with the Philadelphia Free Library, which is, so I'm glad that worked out. That's cool.
Yeah, we interviewed him on Friday, and we'll run that today. He has an interview or a book out that tells his rather amazing story. And we have a couple of little synchronicities in there, too, which will be fun. So that will be on the program.
Why he's never done an endorsement for some sort of screen door company or something would be, right? I mean, it's just like, you might as well at this point cash in.
This is Robbie Krieger of The Doors.
Oh, and I need to mention this, and I meant to put this in music news. I apologize. Out today, our friend Victor Fiorello is Pierre Robert's Long Strange Trip, 40 years on the air.
Love it.
Wow.
Nice.
Have not had a chance to read it. I just saw that it's out today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So it's at phillymag.com if you'd like to read all about that.
Excellent.
Is there an official date for the 40th anniversary, or is it just this month?
It's somewhere this month.
Okay, yeah.
I just generally call Thanksgiving the anniversary.
Okay.
I
I don't know what day.
Close
I started.
enough.
Who will play you in the movie?
Ooh. We cast the MMR movie one time.
We did.
And I've got that list somewhere of
Well,
who's
look,
playing
you got
who.
Keanu comes to mind.
Keanu.
Actually, yes. Yes, he
in
could
your
do
earlier
that.
days?
Yeah.
Oh, right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Excuse me.
He's just younger than you. I'm not saying you're up there, but he's younger
Brad
than
Pitt
you.
comes to mind.
Sure, yeah.
The Thor guy.
Chris
Hendricks.
Hemsworth.
Ah,
Yes,
now you're
that's right.
talking.
Yeah.
Thor.
Now you're talking. I was
don't
thinking
know.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I think Richard Gere.
I think the Iron Sheik.
No.
Iron
No. We'll work on this.
Okay,
All right,
we'll
okay.
work on
There you have it.
All right, thank you, Pierre, and I want to thank our sponsors too.
Not
the
best.
Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by Dunkin'
Did you see
Donuts,
that mask?
It's all you, honey.
the official coffee of the Preston and Steve Show. Also brought to you by Acme. Download the Acme app to see your all-new deals, rewards, and perks today. Visit acmemarkets.com for details. And Meineke for tires, brakes, batteries, exhaust systems, and more. Meineke doing car care right. So tomorrow on a program, a gentleman named P.J. McCabe. He's local, and he's a filmmaker, and he's got a movie out, and we're going to talk to him about it tomorrow. It's Tuesday, so we'll give away some fresh ink with the Preston and Steve Tat Tuesday prize, and we'll find out what else we can get into. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.